I'm live. Kim's still hammering. So Les with Sabres here right on time. And
yes,
Hippie Long.
Welcome in.
Hippie Long, Colby Queso, Bruce Colchin's here a while ago. So yeah, good evening.
Things are good. Things are good.
Yeah.
Don't worry about.
Let me see here. What do I need to do? How do I fix this?
Hello, friends. I'm Kim of Kim Fixes Things. I'm here with Buff Del Campo, the namesake of our channel, of your channel, of the channel you have found, and we are here to entertain you and get some stuff done. I'm working on the Turbo Manifold. No joke. Manifold, woman fold. I didn't even really ask if it's gender. It's a fold.
And
Turbo.
I was working on the back of the
the
tailgate, but yeah, that's gonna need some.
It's gonna take a little bit of practice.
It needs a whole lot more work, but I got something done on it.
I mean, he's feeling it out. It's a custom job. These things take time.
So I don't know what the plan is.
You can't rush art. That's what I say. And don't rush Buff Del Campo either.
And that pair of snips that you got in your hand, Kim, that thing's got a lot of mechanical advantage.
Heck yeah.
But when I'm trying to cut a piece of the 18 gauge, it only cut in about a tiny bit. And
then you can't get it. It won't spread enough to keep moving forward. Yeah, that's the problem.
So that's why I ended up using the power shear.
Good for nipping, but not much more.
So I ended up using the power shear. And Kim was gone last night. She went somewhere, and I was here.
Yeah.
I was here.
You had to work alone.
YouTube going and working. So
working. Yep. So, I had him out here working while I went out to have fun.
So, Kim, for some reason, I don't have any. This thing all of a sudden it's working. Well, that thing had nothing, and all of a sudden it popped up.
It takes a little time. For those things there's delay on the
There's delay on those things. Okay.
Statistics.
Carbide Jones and Daniel Morrissey.
It has to pull the averages.
Granddad's Junk.
Oh, all the way from the other side of the world, we have Granddad's Junk.
He says, Kim, a Home Forestry Company.
Who has a Home Forestry? Oh, that's right. Kim's Home Forestry.
He's throwing a pipe wrench over a tree.
Yeah, that was dumb, but it was fun. We had a good time. That's all that counts, right? Maybe it's not all that counts. We got the job done and we had some fun. Nobody got hurt.
Nobody got hurt.
Not really hurt. I kind of did hurt after doing all that. I did go back with the skid loader, and as my practice with the skid loader, I did push those branches around and got made a little bit cleaner. It's not all cleaned up, but it's a lot more clean. You didn't even look, did you? I got a lot of it cleaned up.
Carfano.
He's avoiding
Olive.
the topic.
Well, I'm interacting with people.
Well, after I cleaned up, he was in the shop by himself working on the shampoo.
So
it looks good. I think you're on the right track.
I want to say hi to people.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And you were just
talking over.
Going about whether I looked at something. I don't know.
I was sucking all the air out of the room. That's a problem.
So, and Olive says she appears to be here on time.
Yeah, welcome in. You made it. You know, it's not so much of an on-time or not on-time stream because we go for a couple of hours. People stop in, they say hello, they chat for a little bit, then they go on to other things. Not everybody stays for the whole stream, and that's okay. We welcome people to come and go as they need, and we're grateful for whatever time you have to share. So don't ever feel guilty. He gets really upset if he's late. He's like, I hate being late. Like,
most of my life,
at the beginning, it's fun.
I was interacting with the military.
Oh, yeah.
And you learn the very first day that late is unacceptable. Yeah. So, let's see here.
We're a little more informal here.
Yeah, but it's just,
I guess.
Well, and same thing. I was late one time to kindergarten.
Kindergarten? How dare you?
And, man. Well, what happened was I knew I was late.
Yeah.
So I sat on a curb like halfway to school. Just sat there.
You got scared and couldn't go.
And then I didn't know what time it was, so I thought a lot of time had went by, so I thought school was probably over, and I went home.
Yeah.
Well, only about an hour into school, you know.
Oh.
So when I got home, my mother's like, "What are you doing here?" And then I knew I'd done. I knew the time was wrong. So she walked me back to school, and I didn't want to go to school because then I was like way late.
Yeah.
And she walked me in there like at 10 o'clock in the morning. Daniel says, "You're correct, Buff. Never be late."
Oh my goodness.
Olive says, "I was."
You have childhood trauma.
Olive says, "I was a Marine kid." But don't worry. Don't feel pressure.
He has trauma, guys.
I mean,
It's
just
okay. It's okay.
And then I was around Russians, and you know how Russians were?
They
like
drink lots of vodka.
8 in the morning. You know what 8 in the morning means?
Time to drink more vodka.
11, noon, maybe tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
It's just like no. It's the old Soviet communist system where you did whatever was the best of your ability.
When you get around to it,
Yeah.
My grandmother had a round to it. It was green. It was like crocheted.
It was a
green,
guy,
and it said round to it.
There was a guy that had one that was about this big, and it was cardboard, and it was in the shop where I worked up at Travis Air Force Base. It was a round to it.
Yeah, he said, "I'll get around to it," and you're like, "What? What?" And then he pulls it out. He goes, "Here you go. Hey, what's this? That's the round to it."
What are you gonna weld?
Yeah.
You're gonna make noise already. All right. You know what I did last night when I welded?
What's that?
I forgot to turn the gas on.
Ooh, that makes it crunchy.
So I made a really nasty weld, and then I figured it out right away, and I turned the gas on and ground the mess, and then fixed it. Yep.
Oh.
It's been a long time since I made that mistake.
I'm gonna do a little bit. Promise not to look.
Kindergarten teachers can be mean.
Oh, they'll tell you. They probably will tell you.
Shoot stuff up.
I'll fix this, and then I gotta tap
I'll
it.
fix it.
Yeah. And then I gotta tap it.
Okay.
Okay, everybody close your eyes.
Cover your eyes. Okay, I'm gonna look away. You got a ground?
No.
The ground is hooked to the car.
The ground is hooked to the car. Doesn't work very good over there.
I knew from that sound that there was no ground. When I looked up in the camera, it was still hooked where I had it last night.
It's good you're here, or else I had not figured it out. I just kept blasting wire into nothing. All right, let's try this again. Well, the good news is that I purged all the air.
The air? The gas? Yeah. Still going? I thought you were just putting a tack.
That's more than a tack.
I guess it is. You just weld and weld and weld.
I tacked it all right. It's been attacked.
Oh, it says I had some pretty mean elementary school teachers.
Oh, no.
They got washed out of nun school. A lot of them. Oh, that's something that never even occurred to me, that somebody got washed out of nun school. Spec says I can't say I had any mean teachers. My kindergarten teacher was lazy. Was making the kids nap the whole time. I was moved to a first grade class. Oh yeah, he told me that. He You got
That's just napping.
Yeah, we had little carpets. We had these little pieces of carpet. I forgot about that. We had to go get them out, put them on the floor, and we had to rest for
Don't
some
think
short
ill
period
of the dead. You know, the thing of it is, though, is from a kid's perspective, maybe, but maybe from an adult's perspective. Sometimes people, too, they burn out on, and then they really shouldn't be doing it anymore. I've seen that.
I had a teacher named Mrs. Roberts, and she was ancient.
Yeah.
She was probably about 50. but to a kindergartner, that's old. Man, that's old.
Gee, that is old. Yeah.
She's like 20 years older than my parents. She's like old lady.
We have had an interesting couple of days. More so than even the videos that we just put out.
Mexican Spec says, my mom told the teacher, he already knows how to speak. What's the saver? I think the kindergarten teacher I had is a real witch. Shouldn't speak ill of the dead, though.
Yeah, I read that.
Oh, okay. I didn't know you were reading any. Yeah, probably all my teachers are probably gone.
Yeah, I would think by now.
My first grade teacher was her first year teaching. So she was young. I don't know how old she was, probably 23, 24, something like that. She and her husband ended up being friends with my parents somehow. And I talked to her, I don't know, probably 10 years ago. And she was way past retirement. And it's funny, she said back then, she goes, everybody smoked. I remember her saying that. She goes, oh yeah, back then everybody smoked.
Yeah, they used to all run over to the teacher's lounge.
That teacher's lounge. That place is like a cloud bank in there.
Yeah, I know those teachers wouldn't go to the teacher's lounge because they didn't smoke.
Carby Jones says, anyone see that vid of the Tom Mix supercharged Cord? No, but I've seen that car.
Tom Mix supercharged?
Tom Mix was an actor, and he had a Cord that he wrecked. Cord, a car.
Yeah.
And it was maybe it still is, in a museum in Murdo, South Dakota. And I was there when I was a kid, and I saw that car. But that's all I know about that car. And I did not see the video. Kindergarten teachers, you're noisy.
Oh, I'm sorry. I think What It's Like did something about a Cord not too long ago, too. So maybe
He did.
Okay.
Kindergarten teachers were more like naive would-be hippies, I guess. What are you doing wrong if you keep coming back here with head bleeders? I'm like, I don't know, I guess we could work that out. Huh. I don't know. I remember kindergarten, like we did little projects and things, and we colored and we had, took naps.
Yeah.
I don't know all what we did. It was like a class like to learn to go to school. I'm not sure it did us a lot of good. Who knows?
Mexican Spec, you were just... You had that sleeping thing down.
All of this, if I got held back a couple of years, like the bigger kid keeps playing. Mexican Spec, the kindergarten teacher had to be 60 or 70 years old. She was burned out for sure. If they moved me to first grade, my file was marked at advances.
Yeah. You were always ahead of your peers, Mexican Spec. That's all it is.
That says my government teacher in high school saw that, gave me the side eye, and said, I don't think so.
Oh!
Stray bullets here. Here's what happened to me. In my first semester, senior year in high school, I really butted heads with the government teacher. And he told us if we didn't do a term paper, he'd fail us. Well, and he had to approve the topic. And he didn't like my topic, so he said I had to pick a different topic. So I didn't pick another topic, so he failed me. That's what he told me he was going to do. So second semester, I had to take another class. Instead of 6 periods, I had to take 7, which was not fun. So I took a government class second time, different teacher. That guy was great, man. He had us go to city council meetings. He had us go to court, to a trial. We sat through a murder trial. He had us doing all kinds of stuff, and we really learned something. I'm kind of glad I failed the first class. Car by Giants, cool car, eccentric guy. What is this?
The cord I'm betting.
Oh, the cord.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Cool car, eccentric guy. You would have to be doing a bunch of work on a cord. Is that a pretty old cord?
Yeah, it was the two-door. Wasn't the sedan? It was the whatever it's called, convertible.
Guys, I'm really feeling it that like there's some people saying, oh, the car hobby is dying. I don't know that it's dying, right? But like, wow, there's so many old cars. Just not as many people who want to deal with old cars. People they just want something new that they can drive around. Some of these old cars, if people leave them go too long, it's just too much work. And then somebody takes it apart and it's trash. It's never coming back. There's a lot of cars going to be like that. And as we get older, there's going to be more and more and more because there's less and less people. They have the time, the energy, the money. You know, it takes a lot to bring one of these old cars around. And you can only do so many. And only one person can only do so many, you know. And there's just, right now, for a little while there was all kind of money going around. It was like people wanted to see it. It was like a big adventure. And it's kind of, that's fading quickly. And, you know, the novelty is wearing off. And it's now there's just work that needs done. And, you know, when the rubber hits the road, a lot of people are just moving on to greener pastures. You know, it's kind of hard to believe, but yeah, like we were looking at so we went today. I lead into a story, if I may.
Oh yeah, we did went.
We went to the courthouse to get the paperwork for the Bronco 2.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, you got a little hematoma.
Yeah,
you got some blood drawn.
I got some blood drawn.
But I wanted to get the title for the Bronco 2. I never had it titled or registered or anything like that because it's just been here on the property. But I thought it might be a cool adventure to put that car on the road.
Does everybody know what her Bronco looks like? It was a non-running car that the engine compartment had been on fire.
There's old videos about it.
Okay,
on my channel, Kim Fixes Things. There's
wait a minute.
About
I'll just bring everybody up to speed.
Sure.
Old car, didn't run. Engine compartment been on fire. All the wires are burned up. Got rust around the wheel wells. It's not.
There was no water pump on it. And then when I put the water pump on it, it immediately overheated when I got it running.
41-year-old Bronco 2.
Yeah.
Tires are worn out. It is pretty much.
The transmission wasn't working.
Most people would have pushed it off the cliff by now.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what it is.
It's not perfect. You know, there's dents on every panel of the body, and it. Moparquet says I found a second flasher relay for the actual blinkers. It's corroded. Cleaning it up. Congratulations, Moparquet. You're on the. She's hot on the trail of this discrepancy, this problem. Glad to hear it, Moparquet. So. It's pretty rough, and there was no front seat. The track was busted out, and then when I pulled up the carpet, there's holes in the floor, and the frame's okay, but you know the cabin is rough, and it was on fire, and there's some rust holes from where the fire burned all the paint off, and then it sat for a long time, and it was in a pond, and there was no exhaust on it, and someone used a torch to cut the sway bar in the back so that the suspension would actuate a little more. It's seen some things, and it shows 97,000. I'm thinking it's been around the block at least once. I'm saying 197,000. The key doesn't work. You have to start it from under the hood. You guys know. I paid $300 for it. I gave this. I went and looked at it. The soldier was trying to get. He was like PCSing, which means permanent change, and he didn't want to take it with him. He knew it needed. You know, we both knew it needed. I said, I see what it is. I'm willing to give you $300 for it. You know. We had to put air in the tires so we could pull it onto the trailer. He was like, yeah, I got to leave. Yeah, go ahead and take it. Good luck to you. Here's the title. So I went to go get the title, and they said, well, this price is too low. Because it's an antique vehicle, we have to go by book value if you don't have an affidavit, signed affidavit that says it was a gift. Which it wasn't a gift. It was a fair exchange of goods. It's not a gift. That's what I paid. That's real money. What's the value?
It's an old rusty pushmobile for $300.
Right. I mean, that's the reality of it. But they won't accept that because they always have to push the prices of everything higher and higher. Guess what? You guys take a minute. Guess what you think they said. Sight unseen, but just on the description, 1985 Ford Bronco 2, what they came back with. They had the title, so they had the VIN and everything.
They're going to tax her on.
Guess what they wanted to give me
on
me to pay taxes on? And the tax rate here is 10%. Guess how much they said it was worth? And then you can figure out the taxes easily from there. Oh, I wish Mexicans spec.
Higher.
Higher. They didn't really ask me the condition.
That's when I stood up.
Well, we did. We had a discussion with
$1,500. No.
See, you guys are thinking that now that I put a new motor in it, that I fixed the transmission, that I.
No, we didn't have pictures.
They don't want pictures.
They don't want pictures.
They don't care.
They do not want pictures.
Moparquet, you're getting close.
You're getting close.
I think you guys have the point.
It's a
Mexican Beck said 6,000. Moparquet said 2,500. Hippie Lung said 2,500. Mr. Burlock says 1,800. Those are all way low. You guys are all.
Case is 13,000.
No,
way low.
you need to go back up.
Moparquet was closer at 15.6.
They said.
And they said they said the original value, brand new, was 11,000 something.
They said the original cost was 11,600, something like that.
Okay, she finally went over.
Yeah, you finally went over Moparquet. She's 24.5. Yeah, no, they said $20,000. I said that's crazy. I said in pristine condition it's worth $20,000, and I couldn't get that as a private seller, and I clearly didn't pay that.
I don't think a fully restored, perfect Bronco 2 would be worth $20,000.
A 69 Bronco maybe, but not an 85 Bronco 2 with a V6.
Well, especially with that thing.
So they wanted me to. They said, well, we can call it.
They wanted $2,000.
We can call it fair condition. That would put it at $15,000. So then I would owe them $1,500 in taxes to get my plus the registration and the plate fees.
The Mexican spec says no Bronco 2 on a planet's worth $20,000. That's right.
So I gotta find the soldier, which we'll find him. We'll track him down. He's got to sign the gift affidavit, which is a lie. It was not a gift. I paid fair market value. But see, they always have to have the values of everything go up. See, if they take the truth, they take reality, then it brings the average down, and they don't want that. They only want to show that everything goes up in value.
The other option,
so they can.
She can take it to a dealer and have them.
Well, that was the other thing. They were like, "Go get it appraised." Appraised? Who's going to appraise this piece of garbage?
There's a Chrysler dealer just as you go into town. We could maybe get it to drive as far as the Chrysler dealer. I'd have to follow her because take chains and stuff. We have to drag it.
Hey, OVS shipyard.
but
I'm ranting.
If you drive it on the lot, they're going to go, get a broom and start sweeping the rust up.
So the reality is, if I can find somebody who wants to waste their time to do a written appraisal that they know is going to the state or to the county, then, they're going to look at it and go, I don't know, what would they even say? They don't want to pay for that.
It's like,
like if they were like, well, a couple $1,000, I'm like, really? Can I have a couple?
I'll take it. Sold.
Right, sold. Right? So they have to, a real value is, what would they get? $800?
Well,
Get some Tennessee cheese with your Tennessee. Hippie log! I'm just telling a story. What does pay value and highest sold value have to do with each other? Exactly.
oh, to me,
And I
when I
understand
heard
it's for fraud and they want to collect taxes and people
Well, I
could
heard
just lie. But
20 grand, it's like Mexican Spec says, there isn't a Bronco 2 in the world worth 20 grand. You know,
I mean, okay, so if it was in pristine, documented, low mileage.
oh, and Ford Rule says get a trade-in value. No, because on a trade-in, they'll give you a lot of money because they're going to take that money off anyway.
Right.
No, you got to just go get it.
Because they mark them way up and then they tell you you're getting a great deal because they're giving you $3,000 for your trade-in.
Yeah, so you don't want to do that. No, you just want to go and go, I need an appraisal on this.
No, because Johnny C asked, do they charge salvage yards that much when they purchase cars? No, when salvage yards purchase them, they get a special exemption because it's salvage. It's not a road vehicle anymore. So they don't have to, I don't know what they pay. Maybe they pay by the ton, I don't know. Get a quote from a junkyard. They'll tell me $300 for weight.
Whatever the steel is worth.
They said it has to come from a licensed dealer and that they do those kinds of appraisals all the time. And I said, well, where have you got one from recently so I know where to go? She says, no, I've never done it before. I said, well, you've been here.
We'll go up to the Chrysler dealer. It's the nearest one, and we'll just have to.
We might do that as a video just for fun.
Drive it up there, and I'll follow you. And like I said, we'll take some chains and some tools and a broom. Because we'll be sweeping the rust off their lot.
They're just making it difficult for me. I will find.
But she was real nice about it.
She was, and it wasn't her fault. She was just
saying, I gotta do it. These are the rules. Yeah.
This is the way it's done. And I came from Pittsburgh. It's different. And it's not like I have to deal with a notary. When I find the seller, I can email them the paperwork. They can fill it out and have it faxed back to me, and it doesn't have to go through a notary. So I'm going to do that. It'll be fine. But I was blown away. They were trying to tell me that the value of that vehicle, regardless of condition, was between $15,000 and $20,000. Wow.
Yeah, they had it. They had no, it was a Bronco 2 Mexican Spec. It was they just have a printer. They just type it in there and out it comes.
They printed the page out for me of the appraised value.
They put in the VIN or something.
Comparable sales or something like that. I think they just went on Facebook Marketplace. I'm like, well, a '69 Bronco in perfect condition, asking price is $20,000. It's like, well, that's asking price in beautiful condition, all re-chromed. That doesn't even have it as plastichrome.
Johnny says, I remember those when new. One of my coworkers bought one. Always liked them. I like the windows, the way they wrapped around up on the top, but that was 40 years ago. I can't believe it's been that long.
Well, they had the VIN number. They punched it in. They knew what it was. And, I knew. Her computer spit that number out. I don't know what kind of software they're using, but it's BS. Because I would love to see the $20,000 Bronco that's sold here in Tennessee.
Hey, John Cope's here.
Because I don't think anybody did the restoration. That's what is it, Meckham, or what is the auction value?
Meckham, yeah.
Look at this page, classic Ford Broncos.
What is this?
I guess click on it, see if it'll pop up.
See if it'll pop up. Yeah, something will happen.
You got to say go ahead and go to the site because it keeps you from going. Stray Bullet says, I haven't dealt with the DMV in more than a decade.
Bronco 2's compact sport, blah, 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 blah. Oh, now all kind of things are going to pop up.
Ah, see, they're using this. Mexican Spec says they used to accept statement of facts. They don't anymore because so many people lie, and because it's the sale value or the sale price, right, is far a certain percentage below book value.
Look at that. Top sale price is $28,550. Oh my God. Average is $98.36. These are the ones that are for sale now.
That's wild. People
So that
paying
means
20
people are
grand
asking-
for 85
Well, no,
Ford
no,
Bronco.
that's what they're asking.
Asking prices?
Well, that can't be the closing price.
Sales? No,
It
it says top sale. It's wild. It's wild to think about it, and to think about, you know, when you buy an older vehicle, you want to have that. You definitely want to have the previous owner's information so that they can sign that affidavit. You know, because it used to be we had to have, if I took pictures in and I signed an affidavit of the, you know, the why it's so low, but
You know, that's what I wanted is to get a CarMax. But this thing will never make it. The nearest CarMax is in Nashville.
oh,
this
geez,
thing isn't going to make it to Nashville.
that's a trailer. Well, they did give me a temporary tag, so I can take it and get it appraised.
Mexican Fix is $28,550 was a $9,000.
Yeah, that's like a museum piece in pristine condition.
It's like
on a silver platter. It says 97,000. It's not 97,000 because it's on its second motor, so it's probably 197,000 on that Bronco too. Even fixed, it's not worth more than. If I listed on Facebook Marketplace for 2,000, it would just sit there. You know how I know? Because there's 4 of them on Facebook Marketplace in my area, just like that.
Well,
they just pitched my money away, so I don't lie. I only paid $300 for it. You guys were here. It was a piece of poop. I spent months working on it to get
non-running Bronco 2.
Yeah.
That's rusty as hell and had been on fire. Cars that have been on fire aren't worth anything.
I've been all over the vehicle.
I couldn't believe you paid $300 for that.
I've put hundreds of hours into the vehicle to get it running, and it's still not worth anything like any of that amount. You know? It's craziness. It was just weird encountering these people, and I was in shock that they would propose that I was going to pay. Like, they gave me a solution to deal with it. It's not like they were unreasonable.
We'll deal with it.
It was just the shock. Like, initially what she's telling me here is I'm going to have to pay $1,500 in taxes
the hardest
to
part,
title this vehicle. And I was like, wow.
The hardest part about this is going to be getting that car up to the dealer. I think it might make it. Yeah, I know. That's
we'll just roll on up the berm.
That's just a shaky deal driving that far. Yeah.
Mexican Spec. They gave us that we can either take it someplace and get an appraisal, or we can get an affidavit of gift. Now, the affidavit of gift is basically saying isn't really accurate, but the way it's stated in the affidavit of gift is this is the stated price. So we're not lying. I mean, that's what I paid. So
we do have a trailer, but
not a gift.
It's a pretty shaky trailer. But that might be an option, is to drag it up there on the trailer. But then you got to register.
It'll make it.
Then you got to register.
I've got the temporary tag.
Vehicle.
I gotta make sure we have brake lights. You know why?
Hey, Tavo's here.
You know why I need to make sure it has brake lights and running lights? I got pulled over tonight.
No.
The Jeep, it has a light out on the driver's side in the back. I got pulled over. I was nervous sitting there.
Who pulled you over?
A police officer.
Sheriff or policeman?
Policeman.
From Clarksville?
Yeah.
Was he decent or what?
Oh, he came up the passenger window because we were on a small road.
They're doing that more and more.
And when they do that, it's informal. If they come up on the business end, you know, he came up. I shut the vehicle off, turned the lights off, put the keys up on the dash, and had my hands on the steering wheel. Left my seatbelt on. I waited till he walked up. I said, I don't have power window. So he had his flashlight so I could wind a window down.
I've been there before.
You just don't make any sudden moves and just let the guy tell you what to do He said, do you know you have a light out on the back? And I said, again? And he said, you've had problems before? I said, well, it could be a bulb, but we have had electric gremlins that we've been chasing on this vehicle. So I don't know, but I thought that they were working. And turn on the interior lights. You know what? It wasn't dark yet. It wasn't all the way dark. But it was dark enough that when he got up behind me, he put his brights on, and I flicked the thing on my mirror because they were so freaking bright, and then immediately the red and blue lights came on. Rent a U-Haul trailer. Our trade, it would go. We'll make it work. So we'll get plates, but it's been a struggle.
You guys work on your cars, don't you? I check my lights all the time. I got stopped one time in Arizona. I left Yuma. Now, you know where these places are. I left Yuma, and I was going to go to Central California. But I had to go to Phoenix first to pick something up. So I left Yuma, went to Phoenix, picked up what I needed to pick up, and I'm on I-10 headed toward... Oh, before I left Yuma, I checked all the lights. Everything's working great. I'm going to California. Just before I get to California, I get pulled over. The license plate light's out. And there's 2 license plate lights, and one of them's burned out. And she came up, same thing, came up on the passenger side, and it was at midnight. And so I didn't want to reach over and roll the window down. So I said, I don't have power windows. She said, roll it down. I said, okay. Rolled it down. Gave her all my paperwork and everything. So you know what she's doing. She's checking everything. She didn't write me. She just says, get it fixed. So I drove next exit. I pulled in and bought a 194 bulb and fixed it.
I said, okay, do you need to see my paperwork, license, registration? He says, yeah, but he said the registration's fine. I said, the insurance is not in my name, but I'm on the policy, which is true. And he said, that's fine. And he just took my license and he ran my license, which took like 2 minutes. And he said, you're good. Go ahead. Just get it fixed. You know, and it was over pretty quick. But it's scary. It's just like, oh man, what's this going to be like?
I've never had trouble with the police around here.
I missed a couple of streets. Go ahead. No,
I've never had trouble
they're
with
not
police
really
around here. I have been stopped.
I have no warrants, straight bullet. Yes, a U-Haul trailer would cost money. We're not that far, and we have a dolly, but the dolly has a engine hoist bolted to it, so I can unbolt it and then we can put it on the dolly if I can find the ramps. They're around here, right? So we could gather
right
that
outside the door.
But we don't have a vehicle that has a tow hitch on it that's registered right now. We have your car. We have
right. We need. That's what I said. We need to get your car.
Yeah, we don't. We'd have to register another vehicle in order to tow it. So there's just like blah, blah, blah.
So I think.
But it's nothing really show-stopping. It's just 10 minutes of ranting.
It might be a fun adventure to drive it to the dealer. I hate stuffing cameras in people's faces. I really do. I don't like it myself, and I don't. But perhaps we could go somewhere and tell them, look, we're doing this thing. It's sort of a comedy bit. We ran into the problem with this is what we need. They told us this is what we need. Can you write us up a thing? We'll point out your thing. We'll show your lovely selection of cars because it's a Jeep dealer, and they have lovely Jeeps. We'll highlight we'll talk about how great it is. They just had a bunch of landscaping done. We'll talk about how nice the facility is. We'll talk you up. We don't expect you to just write it up however it comes up. So it'll be at the low end of the value. They'll say $1,600. I'll pay the taxes on $1,600, and we'll just do it. And it'll be a fun outing. I don't care. We'll get through it. Whatever we need to do, we'll get it taken care of. The only cop I ever had trouble with was the California Highway Patrol. And he stopped me. I had I had to get my son home to his mother. And it was Sunday morning, and there's time schedule, and you got to do everything perfectly when you're dealing with former wives, So I had some car. It was a Honda Civic, but the head gasket, it had a blown head gasket, and I had a Pinto wagon, but the Pinto wagon, the license was registration expired, but it ran, so I gave him a ride home in that. Well, California Highway Patrolman stopped me for having expired tag, on the sticker on the
Oh,
license.
geez, this story is terrible.
And that guy stored my car.
Impounded his car.
He impounded my car and gave my son, who was about 3 years old at the time, a ride down and let us off at an off-ramp. We had to walk down the off-ramp to a gas station and start making phone calls.
Can you believe? That was a long time ago, because your son is almost my age.
He's 44.
Now.
He's 44 now, so that was 40 years ago. But still, that isn't right, But that's the only time I ever had problems with a cop, and I was being nice to that guy. And but what a jerk,
Tavo says where he's from, you get out and meet the cop halfway. That's a big no-no here.
That's how it used to be here.
Yeah.
In California, when I first got my license,
never get out of the car.
You walked back and you met halfway.
Unless they tell you to get out of the car, and then you get out of the car.
I had a California Highway Patrolman one time. He stopped me. I don't remember what it was for. He goes like this. He opens up the window and goes like this. Come here. Go over to this door. I went over there and he goes, get in my car. I got in the car and he's sitting there and he's writing a ticket. He handed me the ticket. I had to sign it. Then I got out and walked.
And had to pay the impound fees and stuff like that?
No, that was not that time. That was another. That was
Mr. Murlock says it's an immediate impound here. Yeah, I guess that's how they do it.
What's an immediate impound?
I don't know. Maybe the story that you told.
Oh yeah, that's what happened to me in California. It was a expired registration, and he impounded it. So it cost me the towing. It cost me the storage for the weekend. It cost me. It was, and then I had to pay a fine, and it was like $3,000 to get my car back.
That's painful.
Horrible.
It really, really is. Yeah, it was nothing like that. Moparquet, the Jeep that I drive in and out of town every day, because I don't know if we have taillights at all on the Bronco yet. I have to work on that still. But the Jeep that we drive, last summer, we did all kind of work on all the lights because we were having electrical problems when we were fixing the air conditioning. So we were working on grounds, and we went over, everything was working in the fall. So, I don't know. Over the winter, one of the bulbs burned.
When we had it in here, everything was working perfectly.
We thought it was okay. You got to walk around your car on a regular basis. Who knows when it stopped working? Moparquet says I got pulled over. He asked if he could search. When I asked if he had substances, he found a hammer to use for eating crabs. That was about it. Usually, unless an officer's having a bad day, if you're just do what they ask and are don't give them any trouble, and they but every once in a while they feel like they have something to prove. I don't know. I got pulled over for no brakes. I said, really? The officer realized my car was a manual. I was on level ground with the clutch in. He still took my ID and checked my status. Well, once they have you pulled over, now they'll just escalate if they can.
Max Inspect's right. That we put new turn signal lenses in it because they were missing.
In the front.
Yeah, but we went over the whole system.
We did. We went over the whole car. It was all working. So I don't know.
I don't know.
Expired tags means you're not insured. The second your tags are invalid.
What?
No, and then I don't know. In other places, maybe
here.
It's different, but your insurance doesn't depend on your vehicle registration.
Yeah. So those are two separate things.
Here, as far as I know, they are.
Yeah, they're two separate things.
That's how I always understood it. Also, 40 years ago, they didn't ask for insurance.
No, I remember
My whole life,
we were talking about that today.
Yeah.
Like I said, in California, the first time they asked for my registration, it surprised me because they used to just ask for your driver's license. One time they asked for registration, and we were kind of laughing today because we were talking about pay pass. It was like, World War II Germany. Pay pass?
Yeah. See, I don't think they have to. I think if they run your plate, they know registration and insurance, so they don't really need to see your papers anyway.
But they want to see it.
And he didn't really care. He didn't want to see it.
He didn't. He didn't
not care. I handed it to him. I think it was an expired paper. You should look. I think it was an expired edition.
I don't think it is because I just went through that.
He said, "I'm sure it's fine." So he must have already read my plate.
Well, they know as soon as they run the plate. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that remember how the Bronco 2 was on fire? The brake booster, I think it was stuck or something, and so the pedal was too low and the brakes were staying on. So I think someone took the switch out underneath the dash for the brake thing so that it wouldn't kill the battery. I think. So I think I have to reassemble some stuff in there, and maybe we can get the lights in the back working.
It says here you can't get registration without insurance, and you can't insure it if it's not registered. They're done in the same transaction. Really? Oh no, here you go. You can go online. You can go to an insurance company. You can, but insurance is a completely different thing. But you have to have them both if you get stopped. Where's this smoke parquet? If you don't turn your expired tag in Louisiana, your license gets suspended. You gotta turn an expired tag in. Really? Oh yeah, here
once it's expired, it's just expired.
They don't care.
And if you get caught driving with an expired plate, it's the same as having none at all.
And if it expires, they don't want it back.
Unless it's on the wrong car, and then it's more serious. If you put a plate that doesn't belong on a car, it's much more serious. They do not like that. License plate gets suspended. I know if in Pennsylvania, if you let your insurance lapse, because you're required to have insurance in Pennsylvania, if you let your insurance lapse, they notify the state, and they will suspend your driver's license for a year and fines.
I got stopped in Ohio for this is my '89 Buick LeSabre, 2-door LeSabre, big old 2-door car. I love that car. But I got stopped, and it has another one has 2 license plate lights, and one of the license plate lights is burned out. And it was nighttime, and this guy stopped me, and it kind of pissed me off, and it was snowing. And he came up, and it started snowing harder and harder while he's talking to me. But I had all the paperwork and everything, and he gives me a written warning for the license plate light. So I thought, I'm going to get this guy. So I started asking him questions about all kinds of shit. Just what ifs, what about things about being a cop, and I just kept him going. He goes, well, I got to go. And then I kept it going, and he goes, I got to go. And he's just getting drenched with snow. And finally he goes, I got to go. And he left. Okay.
Took his ear off.
I let him.
Imagine you would ever do that.
I had him standing out in the snow for 15 minutes, man, with big snowflakes like this just piling up all over him. He was not happy when he left.
Mopar cases. I live in Mississippi now. It's way better. Glad to hear it. Barracuda says, I found that it sometimes smooths the way with police when you're driving an old classic car. They want to talk about the car. Absolutely, especially if it's something that they like. Be careful, though, because if you're driving a Chevy and you have a Ford cop, sometimes they're meaner.
Poor 85 Bronco, too.
Yeah.
Are there states that don't require you? I don't know of any. I don't know of any that don't require insurance. Some states.
There used to be.
Some states you can be bonded. Of course, that's expensive.
Well, in Pennsylvania you can be bonded, but I think that basically means you have to have like $20,000 sitting in an account that you can't use.
You have to.
If you have enough,
there's bonding companies that.
If you have enough money, you can put up a bond, and then you don't have to pay monthly. But you have to have the money before you can save any money. And if something happens, you're a responsible party, so you basically pay out of the bond, which is not so great either. So.
Well, my youngest kid wrecked my PT Cruiser up the road here. Man, I was working in Arizona, but I happened to be here that weekend. So I went up there. It was a Tennessee Highway Patrolman, and he's over there going, "Sorry, sir, sorry, my kid ran a stop sign and hit somebody." So he says, "I'm sorry, sir, I'm gonna have to write your son a ticket." I just laughed at him.
Kind of deserves it.
You know what? Don't apologize for doing your job. It's like you ran a stop sign, So he wrote him a ticket. Oh, man. Well.
Yeah, Olive, if you're rich, yeah. Heck yeah. Self-insure. I don't know though. I think it's kind of a pipe dream for most people though to be self-insured. But like if you're like Jay Leno, yeah, and you have all those cars.
Because it says no requirement for having car insurance in New Zealand. So what happens? Is it everybody covers themselves then, or what? Because here you have to have insurance is liability to cover somebody else. You don't have to have insurance on your own car. You have to have insurance for hitting somebody else.
No
female cop to be done.
And she fears she'll get a cop that hates male part. No, you in any classic vehicle, you're pretty good unless you're doing something stupid. I think, but me, I'm a little bit of a character, you know, and I had to give him my driver's license and then wait for him to walk away and evaluate what's going on there. I don't know if you all understand. That's okay. If you don't, it's okay. But there was a little bit of anxiety there. But he came back and he's have a nice day. You're good. And I am. I wasn't doing
that was on the way?
That was on the way. Yeah. I got to sit with that for a while. Decide how I was going to process that.
Tabo says we have two types of insurance here. The compulsory one is strictly for third-party bodily injury.
Yeah.
To you if you want to insure the car or third-party property. Oh, we have to have it for third-party property.
You don't have to insure your own vehicle.
You do not have to insure your own vehicle.
Other people's vehicles. So, and most people opt for the uninsured motorist feature, so that if somebody else.
Uninsured motorist is not expensive.
No, it's like a part of your policy.
Very, very
a couple dollars a month. Leaving with a book of tickets from a lady cop? Potentially. Probably not, Kay. No. Just be polite. That's all I've ever done, and I'm hopeful. There have been times where I've been in stupid situations. I got pulled over. I was doing 90 in a Chevy Chevette. I didn't know I was doing 90.
How did you ever go 90 in a Chevette?
I don't know. It was running great. So
they don't run that good.
The story is, I was living in Parkersburg, West Virginia, so I was commuting from Pittsburgh to Parkersburg back and forth. Well, I don't remember how I got back to Pittsburgh, but I spent the weekend. I had this Chevette, right, and it broke and it wouldn't go, so I put a new transmission in. Well, the problem wasn't the transmission. The problem was the rear end, and I didn't know that. I was young and stupid, so I had replaced the transmission and the rear end, and I got it driving, and it was good for the travel. So I got on the highway. Man, it was just singing. That thing was running so good, and I'm soaring down. It was late at night. It was probably midnight. I'm driving, and this thing's just going, and all of a sudden there's the lights, and I'm like, oh man, you know. And I was like, I looked down. I think I might be about 65, you know, maybe 70, and I was like, oh man, I'm in trouble. They came up with guns. And there was like, all of a sudden there was a lot of cops, and they had guns.
Jeez.
Like, oh, fuck. And wouldn't you know, you would not even believe it. They let me go. They fined the living I mean, I think I had over $700 in fines because the registration was for a different car and it was expired. So I had the wrong license plate on it. I didn't have insurance or nothing. I was taking it back to West Virginia. But it was a legit story. And they knew. Like, the car was packed full of my belongings. And I'm like, I just did. But they were like.
Mexican Spec said he had a whole lot of cars insured because he had a dealer's license. Yeah. I had that dealer's license for a while in Ohio. That was the only thing I liked about having being a dealer in Ohio was everything I drove was insured. I had 3 dealer plates that I could swap around from cars, and that was pretty nice. But I don't ever want to be a car dealer again.
Olive says, I only carry liability on my Volvo. By Georgia book values, they declare this car totaled over an eBay taillight.
That's what we were talking about today.
Yeah, they say it's not worth anything, so any damage, they just declare it totaled. give you the low ass book value and say, sorry, see ya.
That's
Sorry
what
about your luck.
I kind of worry about that with our
He
Jeep.
worries about that. And your car.
Well, the Jeep, both of them. Yeah, the Jeep is 18 years old, but it's a really nice car. The body's nice on it.
It's got almost
paint
200,000 miles on it.
No, it has almost 100,000 miles on it.
The Jeep.
The Jeep.
No, it is almost 200.
No, it has.
Go look. It's sitting right out there.
It's 190?
It's got 190,000 miles on it. Yeah. It's got a lot of miles.
Oh, you're right.
It does.
So, but if that
But
thing
we
gets,
have it going good, but there's
if that thing is, I mean, we can't afford to let that thing get hit, because if some insurance company, they'll total that thing, and give us a few $100s or something. And man,
didn't
terrible.
Car Wizard just say that's like one of the worst cars?
I don't care.
It's fine. It's a great little daily driver. Like, it's not as stout as like one of the Jeeps like Tony likes. It's very light duty. It gets great gas mileage.
I really wish they would introduce liability insurance against your license instead of cars. Then you would own as many cars as you like. Okay, here you can do that. And there's a name for that. Dead Dodge Garage, the YouTube channel, that's what he does. He has that kind of insurance.
Yeah, I don't know if they do it down there, though.
But it's kind of...
Down there.
It's kind of expensive.
Over there?
It's kind of expensive, but it's a whole lot less expensive than the fleet of cars he has. So he does that.
But he's running a business and he makes money. We don't. I don't think we're going to go there. That's why we don't have a vehicle that we can tow with, because I've got to I've either got to pay for registration on the van.
And Olive says, if you choose to spend money insuring your car for Marlboro, someone will cheerfully send you a bill. No, they won't. I've been that way with my Zephyr.
What, stated value insurance?
Stated value insurance, and they will not do it. And it's like, why not? It's a 48-year-old car.
Well, you didn't spend a lot of time shopping around.
No, I did it.
With Haggerty wouldn't.
Haggerty wouldn't.
You know what, though? You told Haggerty you were going to daily drive it, and they would not insure a daily driver, period.
Yeah, my daily driver's like, I don't really.
Because they'll do a stated value, but only on a classic car that you only use occasion, which is all he does, is occasionally drive it.
Yeah, but it is my, I guess I could call a Jeep my primary driver, but my car is really the one. Yeah, Haggerty is who does that. They wouldn't do it. Yeah, they won't. They didn't do it because I said I do daily driver. So I don't know what to do. I don't have insurance that covers my car. I have liability insurance on my Zephyr, but nobody will. I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure out what to do, because if somebody hits that thing, I'll be sick, man. Because I won't get squat.
You'll never replace it for what they give you. We've put a whole year in on that car. Sweat equity is something. We don't have another year to work on a car that.
Yeah, Mexican spec says daily driver for you is every 2 weeks or so. That's about it. Yeah, it's probably once a week, once every 2 weeks. Probably once a week. Yeah.
Or we go to the grocery store, which is nothing.
In a year, they want to know how many miles I put on that car in a year. My the company that I have my normal car insurance through, and it was like 1,100 miles in a year. She kind of laughed. I said, well, she has it limited to lowest, which is 8,000 miles a year. I didn't even come close.
I see some people's comments, but I'm going to skip because
we got so many.
They're good comments. I'm not, but like Olive says, Hemmings or Bunnings, maybe we should look into it. Burlock says $700 a year for one car, 1998, P&D, towing costs. Yeah, like my van, right? The registration is $100 a year, but then the annual insurance cost, if I pay it all at once, if you make payments, they tack on fees and stuff like that. If I pay it all at once, it's not quite $900 a year. And I know you're saying $700, but that's for maybe a car. This is a commercial sized van, and you could argue, but I mean that's how much it is. It's almost $900 a year. And so then so it's like $1,000 a year. Is that a lot?
Well,
No, it's just pretty cheap. But I've got other vehicles, and nobody cares about the van. If I make videos about the van, nobody watches.
Don't say under 600 miles in Georgia, they'll claim you're out of practice. Oh my God. Yeah, I know.
But yeah, like
it's illegal for me to fly a supersonic airplane, but I can't.
If it didn't
drive one car.
If it didn't cost an extra $1,000 a year, it'd be great to have the van because we use it and it puts in the work. It's great as a wood shed. We take it up there, fill it up with wood, and then leave the wood in as we slowly use it and stuff like that. But like, it's just $1,000 is $1,000. I can't just throw it. If we want to keep moving with other projects, like we're going to have to register this and insure this, you know, and
yeah, this one the registration expired on it, but I didn't care, and I don't have it insured right now because it's in here.
And I have other projects I want to work on, and if I'm going to take them on the road, I mean, we're kind of landlocked here. Like, we have our little side road here, but any further than that, we're immediately on the highway. And if I get pulled over, the amount I pay in fines and trouble.
Well, you know, I
might as well just get.
I don't actually know how much the insurance is on.
Hey, Junkyard D. And Tim. Welcome in, guys.
I don't actually know how much the insurance is on these cars because
it's wrapped into your homeowner's
I've
policy.
got a homeowner's and my health.
Bundle and save.
It's this, yeah, it's a whole.
It's bundled.
It's an umbrella policy. Yeah. Well, yeah, but the umbrella policy. You know, it's really weird. I added Kim onto the Jeep, and my insurance went down. She says it's going to go down about $10 a month. And I was like, really? Why?
Well, the Valiant. What did you pay for it? $300, $200? I don't remember, but whatever he paid for the Valiant, he went down to Murfreesboro to the sandwich shop that Stubby was working on, got the paperwork from him, and had Stubby sign the affidavit of gift.
Yeah, he signed what it was worth.
But I mean, that's all it was worth. You guys saw us build it from parts.
And they accepted it.
Yeah, so he paid.
It was a non-running car.
$35 in taxes or whatever, and that was fair. It was fair market value. It was nothing dishonest in the least.
You know what I paid Stubby for that?
$100.
$100.
Yeah.
So I had to pay $10 tax.
Okay.
What's this? Lisa's 73 AMC Matador. I don't know what that's about. So yeah, my limits, my liability limits are really high compared to what's required, because what's required is not enough. I mean, you know, if you hit a late model car, the liability limits aren't enough to cover it, you know. So I want to make sure I'm going to be able to cover a, 2026 Ford F-250 or something if I hit it, you know.
Mexican Spec asks, can you sign the soldier's name on a gift? No, I talked about it earlier. I am going to send him the forms.
Oh, and we know where he is.
He can form it and fax it back to me, and they will accept that. We talked about it. I told you, they gave us a solution, but the thing of it was, it was just very rigmarole.
They said that if we send it to him and he signs it and takes a picture of it with his phone or does it with his phone, they'll even accept it. So, all right. That's good. We'll do it. We'll try to do it. If we can find him. I think we found him. I think we know where he is. Yeah. If not, we'll take it up and get the appraisal done. So, yeah, it's just...
The appraisal would be an interesting excursion.
Yeah, it would.
Maybe. I don't know. I hate to hassle somebody to write that down.
Johnny C. makes me laugh. I have old registration cards for my 67 Chevy from 1972 in California, $8 a year. You know, I remember when I think that was the minimum, because my cars all got down to the minimum registration. And it was like that. It was like $8 or something. It was pretty funny.
Olive says renting a Ford pickup at U-Haul doesn't suck for occasions. We just do that when our S10 would be overloaded. Maybe, but you're not supposed to tow with rental vehicles.
Oh, some of them you could. We used to, when I was working in Arizona, we rented tow vehicle pickups to tow with, and they knew it, and we got the ones with the hitch. So, and they knew it.
We rented when I was out there with Felina. We rented a big truck from the Home Depot. You know how the Home Depot has trucks?
Oh, and they don't want you towing them.
They explicitly states in the in the rental information that you cannot tow a trailer behind the vehicle.
Well, we had a box truck that had a hitch on it. We were allowed to tow with it. We were moving government stuff from Arizona to a government location in California. From a government location in Arizona to a government location in California. And we told the guy what route to take to get there. But he decided to go a different way, and he got stopped going into California. And he didn't have the license tag for California, the commercial tag for California. They impounded the truck with all the government property in it. What a mess that was.
Hippie Long says, so all this complaining, rough. I was telling the story, is from you not doing a proper bill of sale at purchase. Yes, this could have been avoided if I had the appropriate affidavit of gift transaction
Well, we
signed
learned
at the
something.
time of sale.
We
And
learned
he had to do that thing, and when the form, because she gave us copies so we could do it, he said, oh yeah, I had to do that with Stubby. And I was like, well, thanks for the heads up on that.
But I wasn't, I don't remember you buying
You weren't
that.
in the state.
I don't remember her buying that car.
Right.
So I asked
you
her.
You guys got to remember, too, I've owned this vehicle for...
like 2 years?
2 years. I hadn't been here that long, and I was
just
buying them up. I didn't know no better.
You know when I was in Oregon? It was in 2023. So that's 3 years ago you bought that thing for $300.
And when I bought it, honestly, it was totally on a whim. I had the trailer. There was nothing on it. You know what? I think I had to drag the Spitfire off the trailer to go get the Bronco in a hurry. Right, I was just bringing him home. He was away while the cat's away, the mice would play. He was out of state working, and I was like, I'm going to go get some junk. And I didn't think we would ever, ever, ever fix that Bronco. I really didn't. He showed it to me. It had been on fire. All the tires were flat. It didn't have a, you always know if there's a problem with the radiator or the water pump. Head gasket, the whole thing. And once I got it running, it was just supposed to be a fun experiment. It was $300. I was like, how can you go wrong? I'll part it out.
Junkyard D must have come in. No, what happened was Kim's Bronco, she finally decided that it has good tires on it. Now she put the second set of tires on it because she put used tires on it. And then she put good used tires on it, just like last week.
Oh,
so now she decides she wants to drive it on the street. So she
went to go get the title.
Go get it registered. And she bought it 3 years ago for $300. And the motor vehicle department says
we have to assess you taxes on book value of $15,000.
Yeah, they
and
decided.
Like, what? And they're like, some of them sell for $20. And I was like, not this.
It's 10% tax.
Yeah. Josh says no. Some old Bronco. My old Bronco. It's a famous car, but it's a shitbox.
It's a rusty old Bronco that's been on fire. Yeah, so you got to go. There's several ways to work around. One is to get it appraised. Another is to go to get a receipt from the original.
An affidavit of gift.
Okay, whatever they call that.
It's not just a regular written bill of sale. It doesn't need to be notarized, but it has to be a signed affidavit of gift because the price is too low, even though it is legitimately, honestly, the market value and price that I paid in actual real monetary transaction. They won't accept it because it's too low and they don't want to bring the average down. Because prices always got to inflate. That's how they all get rich. Subliminal. Welcome to the stream.
Yeah, so.
Glad you're here.
Anyway, it's just.
Oh, it's Mike Murphy.
We just
got Mike.
Mike.
I'm sorry. You know what? I've been sucking all the air out of the room all night.
I know. I haven't been able to read any of these. I've been reading them, but haven't been.
Did you tell them it's a Ford? Oh, we had a good laugh. Except it was really like, oh my God, I can't pay $1,500 because our tax rate here for that type of transaction is 10%. So that they wanted me to pay $1,500 in taxes plus the registration
$300 car.
on a $300 car. I'm like, I'm gonna have to part it out. I can't pay that. And then they did explain that we can get an affidavit or we can get an appraisal, and we just discussed how absurd the whole thing felt.
And the woman there was really nice about it. She goes, I just follow the rules. You know,
she's just telling us what to do. You know.
So yeah,
she didn't write the rules.
Yeah, California got me one time I jumped a title on a Mazda RX-3. I got it for $100, didn't run, fixed it, got it running, sold it to somebody for $300, and my name was not on that pink slip. But the girl I sold it to wrote my name on the back of the pink slip. Well, I didn't know that. It's like 2-3 years later, I'm opening up a business. So, you know, I've got to get the paperwork so I can collect taxes, you know, for retail store. And they caught me then, because there's my name. And they charged me, I think it was $1,300 tax for a car that whatever they appraised it at. So the tax and the what do you call it, the interest and the fees and the
fines and
all that crap. Yeah, it was $1,300, and it's like a car that I sold for I bought it for $100. So I should have been paying whatever it is, 8% of $100.
Paid more in taxes than what you got for the car.
Sold
the car for.
Yeah, it was huge.
Junkyard D says, $15K. Did you tell them it's a Ford? Junkyard D knows. Even if it was in pristine condition, $15,000 is asking a lot. But you guys have seen it on the channel. It's not even a good restoration candidate.
She even had the new value there. What that car cost, and it was $11,000 something.
No, it sure isn't in new condition.
It was new. It was $11,000.
Man. Tabo says, here they don't accept less than market value for transfer taxes. I paid $600 in taxes for the Neon. Oh, I paid $600. They argued the market, so you have to pay taxes on the market value. See, the other thing is you're aware of that, so you kind of see it coming. I didn't really think that. I'd never even oh man, what? Because I've got several cars out here that have never been titled. They don't leave the property. So, I was like, wow, what does this mean to our fleet of junk? You know? It means definitely make sure you can get the title
Arizona was real easy to deal with. I just see Junkyard D says Corvettes aren't worth that much. I bought an 87 Corvette 12 years ago, something like that. Bought it in California, brought it into Arizona on a trailer, drove it right to the DMV, or in Arizona, it's the MVD, Motor Vehicle Department. Went in there, and they just looked at all the paperwork and everything, stamp stuff and all that. She says, that'll be $5. And I handed her a $5 bill, and she handed me a license plate. I said, is that it? And she goes, yep. Okay. Out of the parking lot, screwed it on the car, pulled it off the trailer. I was living in a hotel, drove it back to the hotel. It was pretty funny. It's $5.
Mexican Pick says, you should contest where they get the values. They're not based in reality. You know, there's people
they're
based on what they what are you going to do? Fight the system.
They do give,
I fought the law.
They give you several methods to contest it.
If they hadn't given us any options, we would be worried about fighting, but we'll get an affidavit and call it against or whatever. But
I can't imagine anybody pays the value that they say.
But it's not a gift. It was a fair market purchase. It was a worn-out vehicle that I wanted to play with in the yard. I blame them stupid auctions. They have inflated everything. They watch them. You know what? They glamorize it, and then people get in their head like every old car is now value. We've all seen them on Marketplace. The people think, well, it's old. It should be worth $1 bazillion. It's like, no, it's a piece of garbage. You know, and there's people out there sometimes that do pay it. And that, you know, But for every one that gets grabbed and someone overpays for and then glorifies the story, the other thing is I think sometimes they lie about what they paid for. They actually inflate it up to make people think the values of their cars are really high. I don't know. Plus, just like property values, like what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Spend your whole life fighting the thing over a $300 Bronco? No. I already spent enough time at the DMV, but I still have to go back and do other stuff. I just like I know what to do. I'm sorry. I've dragged this out for over an hour.
Yeah, you have. Anyway, I registered you. They accepted the 1,500 I put down, guessing they didn't have any kind of listing for something that old. I'd get $6,000 for today with the rust that's manifesting.
Yeah, well, see, that's the thing. They don't know if it's something special or not.
They've never seen it, yeah.
But
and they don't care to see it. They just want paperwork.
I mean, that's the thing. In some states, they will require an appraisal on an old car in order to assess taxes lower than what they say they're supposed to be. So they're probably using some system that they paid money to have installed, and it tells you every high value that anybody ever sold any nice car for, and then all the low values, like when I buy a wrecked old piece of junk, they throw the low values out by calling them a gift. So all the values stay high, so they charge more and more taxes. They never charge less taxes.
You know, it's funny, in California,
because they want your money.
This is many years ago in California. I'd go to the DMV and tell them what I paid for it, and they always took my word for it, which is kind of surprising in a state like California. Of course, maybe now they don't. I don't know. But what'd you pay for it? $300 or whatever it is, and they just accept it.
Barry Kuda says there's a bit of controversy here at the moment. The government are looking at putting the annual registration for over 750cc motorcycles to 900-ish. For the registration, you still have every other. See, what they're doing is they're just screwing people. They're just screwing people. People aren't going to be able to have motorcycles over 750cc. Or they're not going to be able to register them.
Talo says large capacity bikes here are about the same base registration as 4-cylinder car, but CTP, I don't know what CTP is. Insurance is the same. It's insane.
Yeah.
It's insane.
I can understand. Like, usually they base insurance on the actual costs that things are. I don't know. Motorcycle insurance used to be really low because, like, how much damage can you do with a motorcycle? I mean, you can do a lot of damage with a motorcycle, but not nearly as much as you can with a truck.
So, you know, my friend here in town that got hit by a motorcycle, messed him up for years. He pulled out from a side street on a main road, making a left turn, and got broadsided by a motorcycle that was going 117 miles an hour. And he got hurt. Barry Kuda, where is Barry Kuda? Asks Ford Rules. Barry Kuda is he's down under New Zealand.
Have Uncle Tony write you an appraisal. That's right. I know Uncle Tony.
Uncle Tony. I know Uncle Tony.
Oh, well, yeah. No, Tony's not a... Tony is an entertainer, not a car dealer, so he cannot write us an appraisal. But you know what?
We do have a car dealer. It's not too far away. But I think we can get that. We might be able to get that piece of paper from that.
We'll go to the Ford dealer. That's what we need to do, is take it to the Ford dealer. Be like, we'll show them the new Broncos, and we're like, and now here's our Bronco.
Where is the Ford dealer?
I don't know, but that would be
fun. There's like some crazy place out long ways from here.
Go to the Ford dealer, compare it up to the new Ford Bronco, hype up the Ford Bronco. They'll be okay with that, right? Tell them, look, we need paperwork. Just put a number on it. I don't care. And if they put a good number on it, they'll be like, really? You want to buy it?
Oh, yeah. As soon as they say they'll $3,000 or something, you go,
sold! It's yours.
Sold.
Sign on the dotted line and it's yours.
Yeah, what's the name of the place that I lost my train of thought.
Woo-hoo! The train of thought has left the chat. I'm going to put a little tack weld on you.
You're still welding. Are you back to welding?
Back to welding. I'm winded.
Yeah.
It's
John Thomas says, I wonder if Tony's starting to lose it. Well, I'm really, I don't know, Tony wants to come back down there and start doing the gas station thing again, which I guess we're going to do it not this coming weekend, but maybe the next weekend or two. Go down there and do the Sunday night live with Tony. That'd be kind of fun. Been a while since I've done this. Pre-pandemic times. Okay, Barracuda says a big part of our registration cost goes to ACC, accident compensation. So that is the insurance? So what is it, like a socialized insurance where the insurance is through the, when you register the car? It's like the government does that? Johnny C's, I remember those. Fun live. So you were watching it, you know, there's a lot of people I know I met them back then, but most of them, but now it's been so long that I know everybody here, but I can't remember everybody there. I remember Watt Burns was there. That's where I met him. I met quite a few people, I guess. Saw's here. Will there be a channel name change? No. Involving brush clearing, tree felling, pipe wrench tossing. Very good. It says no, insurance is separate. Huh. Well, so what is ACC then? Accident compensation. That's not insurance? I don't know. It sounds like insurance. Maybe it is.
Oh, that hunk of meat was a big piece of meat, but yeah, it was shocking to us too. It was on sale. It was regular $130. Was it a rack of?
It was like a big chunk of meat. It was about this big, and it was $110 marked down. So, and it said $29 off. So what is that? A $139 piece of meat? Are you shitting me?
It's a big piece of meat. It probably feed 5 or 6 or 8 people.
I don't care. Do the division. That's not enough. I was like, no.
It's a nice steak. I don't know. It was a lot of money. That's why we were shocked.
I do miss Uncle Crystal too. She was funny addition to this channel. She was.
She's been busy.
A lot of times when I was down there, I'd go down there and hang out at remember his second shop, the shop he had before this shop. She'd be in there doing shirts.
Yeah.
Silk screen and shirts. Now, it wasn't a brisket. What was that thing, Kim?
It might have been.
It might have been a brisket. Could have been a brisket. It was a big piece of meat, and it was
a piece of meat.
It was a piece of beef. No, like $110? No. I go over to where the chicken is on sale because chicken on the last
Probably
day.
isn't unreasonable, actually.
Chicken on the last day, it's down like $2.20, $2.30, $2.70, like that. I scooped that right up, and that's a good meal for us, you know. But uh, that's what I said. Didn't we just buy a car? Yeah, we paid $100 for this car, or we could buy a piece of beef for $110.
Can't eat a Valiant. It took a year to put that together too.
Oh
What
man!
do we spend? How much have we have invested in this car before we started cutting it up like this? In time, not in money.
I don't. Tavo says I can get a whole
stuff.
side of land here for $300 direct from the farm. No wait,
For
$300 is whole.
Whole land.
$50 for a side. Yeah, we had. I don't know, Kim. We put an engine in it, but Tony gave us a lot of the pieces and parts of the engine, but we had to do a lot. We had to buy a set of pistons. We had to put cam bearings in it.
Right, we had to buy a set of pistons.
And we bought rings, and we put cam bearings in it, and we honed the shit out of the cylinders. We had to use the regular what do you call them? Hones, like stone hones, and we took the cylinders out like 8,000. You know,
Yeah.
and then
that's right. We were honing on that motor.
And then we
built it very meticulously with love.
And you ported the head.
I did. I ported
and
the
we
head.
We put the 2-barrel. I bought that new carburetor for it. So yeah, you know.
Oh, that's right. It has a nice 2-barrel carburetor on it. Oh, we don't have a kickdown linkage yet. It needs a kickdown. Oh, we went through all the brakes on this car.
And we rebuilt the right front, but we have all the
torsion bar
suspension,
yeah.
The parts for the left front.
We just got a bumper for it. Didn't have a bumper on the front.
And we didn't have a deck lid for it.
Got new marker lights.
Yep, got new marker lights.
Welded the doors shut.
Put
new seats in it.
Oh yeah, I put new seats in it. Yeah, we got some time and effort in it.
Shit. Yeah, it's worth almost $1,500.
I just bought a box of 20-ounce steak for $115. A box of 20-ounce steak.
Box of steaks. Yeah.
Is that like a?
How many's in a box?
How many's in a box? Yeah. Here, a 10-pound bag of legs is only $10 at Walmart. Same thing here. Exactly the same thing here. But I don't buy those usually. Kim doesn't like those. I don't remember why. So it's a 72 value. So yeah, I got distracted.
Vaya con Dios, Todd. He's gonna go.
On?
Yeah. He's going someplace fun tomorrow.
Barracuda says ACC government department covers you.
28-ounce steaks. That's all.
Okay, wait a minute.
That's a good meal.
ACC government department covers you if you're injured doing anything. You get paid loss of income, physiotherapy, etc. But they are famously difficult to get money from these days. Oh, okay. Arbutin. What's Arbutin? That's somebody's name. Good evening.
Keep eating. I'm gonna weld. I'll try not to weld too loud.
So now,
do you want me to move? Am I too loud?
Kind of the United Federation of Barbecue Hackery. I'm starting to cook all kinds of stuff in the kitchen.
He likes cooking.
My whole life I was so busy I didn't have time to do that stuff, you know. So now I boil the legs with the spices. What I do is I buy, usually if I find them, I'll buy the ones that are thighs and legs together, and there'll be like 3 of them in a pack on its last day for like $2 and something. Man, that's enough that I put it in a crock pot. God, you're noisy. I put it in a crock pot, and I put a bunch of vegetables. I put vegetables and potatoes, all kinds, whatever I put in the crock pot, like a big old soup. Let it sit there for 6-7 hours, something like that. Man, it is so good. And you know, $2 and stuff for the meat. get upset over that.
You know, I think the problem is not that things are expensive. I think they're just cheap. We're cheap old people. What
Cheap
have we
old
become? What have I become? My cheapest friend.
Well, we were up here at the
That's the discount bin.
we're up here at the Food Lion a couple of weeks ago, and there were a couple of steaks in a pack, and I picked it up. It was $50 for 2 steaks, you know, in one pack, and I'm like,
Well,
man.
steak is really high. I think there's something happened with beef.
Something happened with
Does nobody grow cows anymore? What happened?
beef seemed to go way up. I don't know what happened.
Something happened with beef.
Because we get pork isn't expensive like that. In case you don't know, we are one of those countries that has free hospitalization. Oh, okay. Is it actually free, or do they tax you? Or is it? I should say, I'm sure they tax you, but is it taxed separately? You know, like I think Canada's like that. Who in here is from Canada? I think they actually charge you like a
lifetime.
It's like socialized insurance.
Yeah, I'm sure it's socialized.
But like, I don't know if they charge them for it or not.
I'm sure they pay taxes for it. Most places have socialized insurance, they pay taxes. What they get?
Yeah, but I mean, is it itemized separately, or like Canada, or is it? We need a
needs to be. They charge you for it one way or the other.
Yeah, we need a welding mask for us. Okay, so
just squint, you'll be fine.
So you have free hospitalization.
You see what I'm doing, or are you blocking?
I don't know. Free hospitalization. Does that mean? What about the doctor's office or something like that? Is that also hospitalization, or is that? Or do you have to pay insurance, or you just pay the doctor cash? Or I'm just wondering how all this works. How about average $30 Aussie pesos? That would be dollars per kilogram for beef steak here. That's approximately $9.70 per pound. It belongs to Ferry. New Zealand is 4.6 billion in deficit. Yeah, that's what causes inflation. They've done that a lot here too. Oh, U.S. is worse. U.S. is worse. Ooh, something just flew out of here. Kim's welding on the exhaust manifold, I think. The turbo mount. Entirely free. Even tourists will be taken care of if they need it. It's all paid for by the taxpayers. Really? Is the care pretty good? Some places the care is good. Some places it isn't. Like Russia's not real good. Russia is free, but it's I don't know. I knew a guy that got cancer in Russia. It was months before he could get in. He had to have a tumor removed. It was like 6 months before they could get him in to get it done. And then they got the tumor out, but then after the surgery, he had like 6 more months of infection, and he died from the infection. You know, to me, that's not good health care. You know, but it was free.
Well, they all the money they pay.
Thing in Russia is you can opt to go to a private clinic, but then you got to pay for it. And I don't know how good that is. I think it's better. During COVID, our prior government splashed a lot of money around. Yeah, same thing here. COVID. I mean, deficit spending was horrible, that's the worst taxation there is for poor people. Have all the prices go up. Yeah, we can't see what Kim's welding, but she's welding.
Don't worry, they can't see. It looks
Louise
really
says
good.
it was like 6 years ago.
Really, I mean, it looks.
It belongs to the same here, Barry. I was surprised.
Does anybody ever watch Zip Ties and Bias Ties? You know when he welds, like this, he turns the sound off and he overlays the soundtrack of farts. Like
Who does? Who does?
Zip Ties and Bias
Oh.
Ties. It's like that. Just weld them in. Weld it in. Hey, it's gonna work. And that's if it works, like if it actually functions, that's success. And you gotta get if it actually works, it's at least a C, right? It's got to be at least like a 75% works. It's gonna work, guys. It'll make exhaust go through into the. That's as good as. That might be a B minus. It doesn't have to look good.
Ford Rose says, remember that filmmaker that made the movie about GM? It's in the UK. I went to the doctor and it was all paid. Yeah, my brother lived in the UK for 4 years. And during that time, my mother had passed away in California. And my brother was not feeling good. And he had some kind of chest infection or something. Bad cold. Very bad cold. And he'd gone to the doctor. And he said the doctor sat across the table from him. And he goes, it was like an interview. And then the doctor wouldn't give him a diagnosis there. He said he'd write him a letter. So he got the letter at home, said that he was from the U.S. and he wasn't used to the foggy weather in the UK, and there was nothing wrong with him. And they didn't charge him for this because he went to the doctor. And then my mother passed away, and he flew to California, and he was feeling so bad when he got to California, same period of time, feeling so bad, he went to one of these little clinics in a shopping center on a Saturday morning. Went in there, and the doctor starts listening to his chest, and he goes, you have pneumonia. And gave him a shot of penicillin and prescribed a bunch of pills for him. And my brother said, oh my God, by the end of the day, he felt better. So, I don't know. I guess in England, the interview wasn't so good.
Just let you die. It's cool.
Paolo says, really? I'd love to meet an English-speaking doctor here. Yeah, we have. It's the situation here is pretty sad. Mostly it's nurse practitioners now. It's really hard to get a doctor. I got a doctor, and I don't really know why this place I went to, the nurse practitioner, quit.
You know why? Because we live in a secondary city in a rural southern state, and the good doctors,
or they go somewhere else.
They go to Malibu, and they do facelifts for beautiful women.
Mexican Spec says, government paid for health care here is hellscape. Yeah, see now Mexico, if like a U.S. citizen or Canadian citizen, which I know both go into Mexico a lot for health, you pay for it, but it's very reasonable, and I kind of like that, but I'm not close enough to the border anymore. Because when I was close to the border, it was really nice, but now I'm 1,100 miles to the border, so it's just too far.
I gotta take a break.
Okay.
You got this?
Barry Kuda says, being self-employed, I got payments totaling about $12,500 to not work. Oh man, that was during the pandemic. I know people I work for were getting huge payments to keep people working, and yeah, it was crazy. It's just crazy. They got rich. America in the early '90s, it took double pneumonia for me to be able get it out yet. In America in the early '90s, it took double pneumonia for me to be unable to save my duster. Couldn't crawl to the doctor. Yeah, it's yeah, it's just kind of funny though. My brother, after he just walked into the right place, he said, "Man, as an old retired doctor, that he says he only works on Saturdays." And my brother just happened to get him, and he goes, "You got pneumonia." Gave him a shot right there. Mexican Spec says, "I have a good doctor, but the seguro is bad. If you go in there, there's a good chance you won't come out yourself." Hippie Long. California has saved both my roommates' lives. One pancreas cancer. Second roommate was triple bypass. $0 out of pocket. Total bill for both $500,000.
Holy moly!
So who paid for that? California? The state paid for that, or they had good medical insurance?
Who made him sick?
I never got 12 grand in my life, no matter how hard.
Kim comes in with the really probing and difficult questions. Who made him sick? Everything causes cancer in California. Why is California so cancerous?
I know you know that new carburetor that I put on this Valiant?
It causes cancer in
California. It said in California it causes cancer.
There you go.
And I said, if you're in California, don't eat this carburetor.
Don't. Did he eat the carburetor, or was it somebody else?
Tavo says, I had to work right through the pandemic. Me too. But when we had to isolate by law, we had to use up annual leave, not sick leave. Yeah, the company I worked for didn't, we had quite a bit of leave, but they didn't differentiate between annual or sick leave or holidays or anything. They didn't care. You just took it. They didn't care what you called it. Kiwis actually need to understand the real advantage of USA in comparison to their assumed belief that New Zealand is all rosy and light. Well, Tavo, there are a lot of Indian doctors in our hospitals. Like, same here.
I don't really have anything against Indian doctors. I've had good Indian doctors.
Let's inspect. My family had Kaiser Permanente in California when I was a kid. I didn't know anything about how it worked. Yeah, I have friends that had that, but I never did. It says no flies on nurse practitioners. They know what's up. It depends on which one you get. I got one that's a dermatologist. I think she's pretty sharp. And but I had another one that for my general practitioner, I didn't think she was with the shit. And then I had another one for a general practitioner that I thought was really good, but they closed the office and she's somewhere else. So
keep your doctor.
Ford Rule said, I had one Indian doctor years ago, got along with her great. Her husband moved back east. I got some chocolates as a going away present. Huh? That's pretty good. I had an Indian doctor in Ohio, and that guy was enormous, big, fat guy. And I was too heavy then. That was before I lost 100 pounds. And one time I said something to him. I said, I really should start losing this weight. He goes, You're fine. Don't lose weight. I was about 300 pounds, and the guy, this Indian doctor says, You're fine. No, that's not fine. But he just put me at ease. Like, yeah, you're okay. But he was a big dude like that too. But I liked him. He seemed to take care of me. other than that, very good. I am unjabbed, by the way. Oh, I got all the jabs. I had to for my work.
What's all this jibber jabbing?
Yeah, I had to for my work.
Yeah, you just had to do it.
Well, it was highly suggested if I wanted to keep my job and work.
Exactly.
Well, to work out on the test site, you weren't allowed out there without getting that stuff on.
You weren't allowed to do nothing if you were going to not.
I guess. Did you get your shots, Kim?
I think I got 3 of them.
You got 3 of them? Okay, I got 4 of them. Yeah. I remember those medical express places in California. I guess they were perfect if you didn't have regular insurance. You know, I didn't mind paying. Yeah, I used to go to those things. They're like $40, and but that was a while ago. But still, I mean, compared to today, today it's, you know, you go to the doctor and then the insurance companies try to figure out how to get out of paying for it. They pay a little. It's really frustrating. Oh, it says getting an MD is mostly testing through medical schools. Nurse practitioners tend to be the competent NCOs of the medical. I still say it depends on who you get. Kevin Smith's here. Kevin Smith's here.
Okay, if I make a piece of metal about this shape, I'm using CAD, cardboard aided design.
Cardboard aided design.
Cardboard aided design. There was a piece of metal I was cutting on earlier. I thought it was about the right size, and now I can't find it.
Oh God.
You all right?
Yeah, I don't know.
You're working pretty hard there, buddy.
Dean Stevenson, we sacked 4 people at my work because they were unvaxxed. I felt disgusted in my country. Yeah, well, they were. I knew one guy out there wouldn't get the jab out there in Arizona. Had a great job working out at the test site, and he went home without him, and he lost his job. I don't know. I figured, what the hell? I'll take it. I don't know if it did me any harm or good or anything. It was free, and I just did it. It was like, yeah, all right, whatever.
And they were all. It's all about do your civic duty, and you know everybody's getting the jabs, so they can go back to doing things. Otherwise, you're not allowed to go. There's a bunch of places you weren't allowed to go if you weren't vaccinated. And it was like, they were like, they're gonna put microchips in. It's like, I got a microchip. I pay monthly. They track me. They know what I'm doing, where I'm going.
And then the whole thing, like Ford rule says that, you know, like somebody that got the shots still got COVID, and somebody that didn't get. Yeah, same with our family. There was one Christmas, we had a whole bunch of people in my son's house, like probably 30 people there. And the next day he called me. He sounded like crap, and he goes, he and my grandson both had COVID that morning. They were both feeling terrible. I went, oh no, because I'd been in that house all day with them. Mm-hmm. And I'd had whatever the number of shots was at the time. I think it was probably 3. And I didn't get it. And then my granddaughter, who didn't have any shots, she didn't get it. But everybody else there got COVID. It's like, yeah, all right. I guess it didn't matter. I don't know.
You never knew who was gonna and who not gonna get it.
Right. And I think the people that got it first, I think, was a really bad thing. But then as time went on, people that got it weren't that sick. So
first time I got it was way worse than the third.
So, the worst part about it was my second shot. My second shot, I got a fever that it knocked me silly, and it was a. Was it
a rooster shot?
It was an 8-hour, 103-degree fever. Knocked me silly, man. Let's see, Johnny C. They had testing site on campus, and the cars were lined up for a mile. Yeah, I was in Maryland, and what they did, the fire department did it, and they had you line up in cars, and you went through some paperwork and stuff, and got some paperwork, some, shot cards and stuff. And then they had 2 lines, and you went up there and you got the jab, and they said, go park over there and wait 20 minutes. And if you feel okay in 20 minutes, drive out. But you got to park for 20 minutes. And if you start feeling bad, start leaning on the horn, and there's an ambulance there. They'll come over. I don't know anybody that got the ambulance, but I sat there for 20 minutes and left. All it says, I would vaccinate more if I didn't live in freaking woods. Also, the law of physics state that you cannot be tracked by anything as small as a fit through a needle. What wavelength of CB? Yeah, it's like quarter wave is 100. What is it? 108 inches. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of nonsense about those vaccines. Although I'm not sure exactly what it was. I'm not sure it did anything.
I don't know. The people who know are never, ever going to tell because they made way too much money to ever tell too much.
Oh, yeah. There were people that told me that they injected me with something that was going to track me all over the place. I'm thinking, they want to track me. They can already do it with my phone. What do they need to stick something tiny inside me? That's nothing going to go in a needle. So I really don't know what that stuff was in the needle. Could have been water. I don't know.
Mass hysteria.
Mexican spec said if you got COVID there, they put you in a room to die in the government hospital.
They didn't even have rooms up in New York when it went bad. When it all went bad in New York, they had people dying in the hallway.
The first people that got it, I think, got something different.
Well, like Tony said,
later.
I think it was around sooner than they will ever admit. They said they got the crud.
Tony and Kathy got the crud.
Sick.
They were really sick, and it was about a month later they decided that all these people had COVID. And I didn't get it.
We'll never really know because they are not rich.
Yeah, incredible times for sure. Somehow or I knew 2 people that died from it. And one woman was, in her mid-80s, and she died. And then there was a guy that was in pretty good shape that was about 50 years old. It's a pilot, had a fresh medical and everything, and he died from it. Hey, Braden's here. I'm going to be doing a video. Buff and Give, I just did a video. My friend edited it for me. Just a Carolina Reaper with my friend, and I'll be up on my YouTube tomorrow. I don't know what that is.
Carolina Reaper is one of those hot peppers. It's like a challenge. You know how they do the eat the hot thing challenge? It must be something like that. Cool, Braden. Guys, Braden. Check out Braden's channel. He's got a new video up.
I thought it's very good. Says he thought he had COVID. I thought I had COVID, and I went in and got one of those tester kit things. Well, no, I didn't think I had it. It was that Christmas that my son and everybody got it. I felt fine, but I went and tested anyway.
I don't know. I don't think we're supposed to talk about it.
It's history now.
It is history now.
Yeah, it's about time.
Good that it's over. It's good that it's over.
I don't know. All of a sudden, the regime was set. I don't know what that's all about. It's all theater to China and Russia. Yeah, I don't know what. I know they had a different shot there. So there's an uncut version coming to my YouTube, and a version not cut. Very good. I'm not fat, but my stomach is. I'll have to remember that one. Oh, man, I went to the doctor today to get my blood work done, and I'm late. I should have done it earlier, like months ago, but I got it done. So
it's fine.
Hey, Mexican Spec, how long before your son is a full-fledged doctor? I guess he's got to go through his. You're getting it set up for his. How do they call it? Residency. He's going to be doing that. That's going to be fun, you know? He's going to have fun doing that because he likes what he's doing, and he's going to get into the actually working. That's got to be fun. Hippie Long, Braden, eating hot shit will cost you. Ask any old person.
He's young, he'll heal.
Sometimes it burns coming out more than it does going in.
He's young, he'll heal.
We have local pharmacies that will take blood and give you the results whenever you want, says Mexican Spec. Yeah, you know, I really like the medical system in Mexico. I never had complaints about it. Friendly, easy to deal with, not crazy expensive.
You know,
And I had to pay for mine in Mexico, but it was reasonable.
The lab at the local doctor here was not a problem. He was dehydrated and they couldn't draw blood a couple times. It wasn't really their fault.
I have trouble they have trouble getting blood out of me. It's kind of been a problem as I get older. It's gotten worse. So I've been in several times to get the blood taken, and several times they didn't. So when I went in today, she goes, which hand, which arm? And I said, left arm. So she starts in, and I look over here, and she's poking, and she goes, nope, we're doing the other arm. I said, okay, you had trouble over there. She goes, yep. She come over here. So I look this way, and she got it the first time on that arm. It's like, yeah, good, because that was too many tries, and I don't want her to have to go like to a foot or something like that. It's pretty painful. Bora Birkin. Good evening. Wow.
Welcome in. Wow.
See, also, COVID denialism will piss me right off. You killed two of my childhood neighbors. You killed two of my friends early on. I think later it was it was either something else or it didn't cause as much damage.
But it was a wild card because you never knew. There was somebody you wouldn't think, and they got sick.
Because I knew people early on that two of them didn't make it.
The denial thing is weird, though.
And then Mexican said she got tested once, negative. And then Barracuda says, Dean, I've wondered if people who lost their jobs for not being jabbed were able to get the unemployment benefit. And I don't know, that's in your own country what they decide to do. I know here, if you quit your job, you don't get any unemployment.
It wasn't voluntary here. It just wasn't. It was mandatory.
It was mandatory. Was it mandatory where you were?
You couldn't function in life without it. You had to have your car.
Yeah, with me, it was like, it was expected.
It was we were in a huge city.
It was expected where I worked, and I just went, all right, so I went and did it.
There weren't too many people.
And then Tavo says he lost two friends to the experimental juice. Huh.
Really?
Hippie Long says, funny, when we stabbed for COVID, I think I hit my brain. I had to swab every. So my nostrils were never so clear. Oh, that stuff. Yeah, I never did that. Wait a minute. How did I test for COVID?
Oh God, yeah, they did. They stuck that thing up your nose.
Stuck that thing way up your nose.
The early test was up your nose. Yeah.
I'm trying to think what I did. It was also a home test kit.
The home test kits once they came out.
Yeah, those were not fun. Easy. Those were not fun. The home tests were pretty easy. Yeah. When my son and my grandson tested, he did the home one, and they were both positive, and I did the home one, and I was fine. I mean, my friends JP and Frankie got orphaned in a week back in the old state. Johnny, he says, I had it. Took a long time to recover. I wonder if we ever really do. And so you probably had it early on. Hey, Steve Edwards here. I know the people that had it earlier sure seem to have it worse.
Yeah.
And the people that had it later seem to.
Well, it just depended. Some people, it made them really sick.
Yeah.
Some people got sick from it. It was
like when my son got it.
crazy times.
My son got it in 7 days. He was 100% and feeling good. And he had kind of like a bad chest cold.
I got to grind.
You're going to
Sorry,
grind.
guys.
But that's as bad as he was. But he got it way late. Done. Okay.
Sorry.
Hippie Long said, okay, now it took us 6 months to get his smell back. Huh.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was
And then Tavo says, as it mutated, it lost potency.
I
First
think-
few variants were absolutely nasty. Late versions were like a cold. And that's kind of what I think. I've told Kim many times, I'm not even sure if the later versions were even the same thing. Although it could be what you say, it could have mutated.
I mean, that's typically how stuff that's really violent like that. But that also, that lends to the credibility of the fact that it was intended to be like a weapon, because most germs, they don't stay deadly like that for any amount of time, because they kill the host and then they go away.
And Luis says he's going to sleep. Says good night. Good night.
Good night, Luis. Thanks for being here. But then again, all that stuff's just wild conspiracies. Wild conspiracies.
There's a newer and scarier variant lately under Wormhead, but they lie now like they did last. I sometimes don't even know if they're lying or if they're just completely incompetent.
Yeah, it's hard to tell with Arthur. I'll tell you that.
A lot of the conspiracies I hear about, I think, are total incompetence rather than conspiracies. Yeah. Dean says, I'm fully vaccinated and dealing with massive blood pressure increases, and I still got COVID 4 times. I blame the injections. I do have blood pressure issues. My blood pressure increases, uncharacteristics for family that runs. My blood pressure, that's the problem I'm having right now, is the blood pressure issue. People telling us it was a weapon were always the exact people who said spread it more.
I don't know.
And then Kevin saying, Kim, please tuck in those hoodie strings shirt while running spinny things. Yeah, there you go. Good, thank
Good
you.
with the spinnies, but thank you. Okay, tack welding, don't look. Tick.
Yeah, I got 4 injections, but I never got sick, so I don't know. But then I knew people that didn't get any injections and never got sick. And they were exposed, so I don't know. Hippie Long says, when we were off for COVID, I sold a 02 Blazer, got a 64 Dart GT, 65 Barracuda, and 72 Maverick. I was lucky. I had money saved before COVID. Entertainment, this feast and famine industry. Yeah, one of those kind of things. Yeah, there's businesses that are like that. Kim, what's burning? Something smells like it's burning, and it's not metal. It smells more like wood or something. It has that.
Yeah, I burned some wood.
You burned some wood? Okay. As long as we know what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I used a piece of wood shim to make this the way I needed it to be, and wood shim burned a little bit. Sorry about that. Okay, now. Okay, guys. Shield your eyes.
Shield your eyes?
Yep, go back to
Man, it's reflecting right off the screen. I can't look at the screen because it's reflecting right there. That's all right. I'm just telling everybody why I'm not reading it. It's like
turn this around.
It's reflecting right off the
So
screen.
not reflecting fast.
It was outlawed to test for antigens, so you could never find out if you did get it without symptoms unless you tested at the time. That's really weird. Yeah, and BP sucks. Yeah, I'm on medication for it. I've been for a long time, and I keep it barely within. I don't know. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's not. Hippie Line says here in California, COVID killed a lot of Hispanics and Native Americans. Well, California, you got a lot of Hispanics. Rather than California, I was probably, I don't know. I probably was not a minority, but darn close. And when I was in southern, in Yuma, Arizona, I know I was. More Hispanics got sick because there were a lot more Hispanics. Native Americans, though, there's so few. I don't know. The rule says I heard TIG and MIG isn't as noisy as ARCO. TIG is kind of quiet. It's a little tiny, it's like it's a torch basically with a little tungsten tip. This is MIG. It's a little noisier. And when you say arc, it's all arc welding. All those welds are arc welds. When you say arc welding, I guess you mean like a stick weld. Stick weld is pretty noisy. This is pretty noisy, but this is cleaner sounding than like a stick weld. Stick weld makes a lot of dirt. Kevin Smith says he saw a kind of hole in his mask so he could shove spaghetti in his pie. The antigens could be enzymes. It would be of limited use about the virus. Well, then why'd they make it illegal? I wonder why they made it illegal. That's crazy. They were worried about something. Or, who knows? So they didn't want to spend the money on it. I don't know. Dean says, I did rats tests. I know what 4 types I had when I did the test. I'd like to have a lab see for stats, Fresno, Tulare, and Kern counties. Kevin Smith, if you get weld or burnt eyes, they say soak your eyes with taters. Yeah, that's old wives' tale. Yeah, I pretty much had to. When I wanted my job, I had to go along with it. What the heck?
No choice in the matter.
Johnny C says I'm 6'1" and 205 pounds. Yeah, that's probably about right. You're not a big fat guy. I know that. I worked at Works. We named it. What? Hey, look at this. I just noticed 2 of these are Fat Max. This is a Fat Max. Big, long snips. This is good for thin sheet metal. And this is also Fat Max. I just noticed that. I didn't know I had 2 Fat Max. These are little short. Man, these things really have the mechanical advantage there, but if it's something thick, it won't spread apart. Oh, and these guys, I really like these guys.
I really like that one with the deep set jaw. That's nice.
Tom says another oddity. While it was mandated for government employees, politicians had a full exemption. Yeah, that's how it always is. Politicians.
Right out on the commoners first.
And it's not party politics. It's politicians. All of them. They're always on something else. Oh, the big shears. See, this is normal. This, I know you can't hear it because of the noise. This is normal aviation snips. The ones that have little serrations. These are really nice. You can cut pretty tight corners and things. These suckers, Fat Max, man, are these things long? This looks like some kind of animal, man. It's like a duckbill. Kim's been using these on. These got notches in them. I don't know what happened to them. Yeah, I don't know what she was cutting to.
They mess them up.
Yeah, something happened to them. And then these really have big mechanical advantage. But if you're cutting something very thick, it can't be long because it won't. You know, they won't spread out to go around them. So, yeah, I should probably do some shorts on these. That's a good idea. Kim is not flux welding. That's not flux core welding. She's MIG welding. There's no flux core in that. There's a see that bottle of gas there? It's a inert gas. The inert gas comes down and shields the weld. That's a lot cleaner, way cleaner than a flux core.
Ain't nothing clean about the thing I'm doing here. It's a mess.
Well, it's because you're welding. It's whatever you're welding.
Trash.
Whatever you're welding is dirty then.
Nothing but trash. I think I might have it done. I might be done with this mantle. It's only been like a year in the making. Here it is. You guys see it first. The Del Campamino Turbonium.
Oh God, this thing's heavy.
The Del
It
Campamino.
goes like this or like this? Like
Up
this?
like that, yeah.
This is that's the turbo, and that's where it'll bolt onto there. Slant 6 turbo.
That is a rare, very rare piece.
Rare,
it's
like
a little bit crooked. That's by design. It is. That's exactly where it needs to be. We were very careful in our designs there. Hey! Turbo! Woo, woo!
see, I'm not even that excited about the turbo. I get it.
And the car goes, woo! And you go, ooh, nice job, Kim. That's some turbo. That's turbonium. Now I'll make now I gotta use AI.
AI.
I do. I have to use AI, and I have to make, like, I'll use my voice, but we'll have it. What's wrong with this? Where is this?
They got some notches in them, or something doesn't feel right. They need to be clean. Well, open them up and work them, and you'll feel something in there is got chickies in them instead of feeling nice. So they probably need to be.
Well, they've got little teeth in there.
Yeah, I know, but it doesn't feel like little teeth. It feels like big notches.
Okay. Well, it doesn't look like big notches.
Okay.
So, I was worried when you said that, but
what they probably need to do is get opened up. And
do you think this is too thick for those?
You don't want to hear what they need.
Clean. I understand.
Yeah, put some light oil in there and clean them off, and then see if you can make them work. Wake me up. Wake me up a liter of juice, Dino. Yes, I'll do it.
Turbo! All the holes are welded. That's right. Celebration. Celebrate good times. Come on. Boom, 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 boom. Woo! We got through all the garbage, that anything that they could throw at us today. I'm not going to tempt them because they could probably throw some more at us. Somebody could throw more at us, but we made it through everything that got thrown at us today. We survived the day. Oh, and it was tough. You gave blood at the doctor's. I gave blood at the DMV.
The DMV?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
You had something on your face.
Got something on my face. Steve Morris had a turbo blow apart in the dyno room.
Oh, really?
Didn't have safety shield around it. Pieces. Oh, that's like a year ago? Are you talking about the one that was like a year ago? Went through like a plexiglass window?
Steve Morris? I thought that was, who's that guy up in... Okay, Steve Morris.
Is that who that was? Just shot right through the glass and went like past everybody working in there. Yeah, make that out of Lexan, not out of plexiglass. Lexan's some tough stuff.
Hi, Wendy. Wendy came in to say hello.
got done.
Lamborghini's finger. I got the finger.
40 pounds of what? She's got 80 pounds of chicken away, wings 40 pounds. I don't know what all this.
You didn't get to do anything on your tailgate tonight.
No, I didn't.
Did you even show them a picture of?
Well, you talked for an hour and a half.
I did.
And then I guess I could have gone over there while you were talking. He just posted it recently. Again? Oh, I remember when that happened. Are you talking about the one that went through the window and shot past everybody? Nobody got hurt, but the pieces went flying all over the place? Craig Mays here.
Welcome in, Craig.
Yeah, yeah, that's the one if that's the explosion I'm thinking of, yeah, that was bad. I read the turbines can spin as high as 50,000 RPM. Oh, they'll go faster than that. Oh, yeah.
Buddy Carfano woke up to flood in the kitchen. Water supply for ice maker sprung a leak. Oh, those things are terrible. Was it a plastic one or was it a copper one, Buddy Carfano?
I hate water leaks in the
I
house.
wasn't allowed to install plastic ones anymore because that has happened so many times.
I really dislike water leaks in the house. By the time you find them, they're usually done some damage. Is this the Dean Stevenson saying?
He said, I remember a great snake oil salesman. When I stand love, he would suggest you touch the face or cheek of the object of your affections. Scientific testings didn't bear it out, though. That's unfortunate. He had something stuck on his face. Hippie Long says, buddy, I had to unhook mine because plastic. Plastic ones are known to be failures. They're so cheap, though. That's the thing. Is they give them to you in the kit, and they're so cheap. The seller of the technique says it doesn't work if you're an ass. Yeah. Well, that has negative effects on lots of things that might otherwise be successful. Olive says commonly it's a snip and reflare sort of fix, though. For copper, but for plastic, it's just a mess.
What's the copper one? It's got a
piece of copper too, with a flare fitting on the end.
What's the plastic one? It's got a what do you call it? Ferrule?
No, it's usually some kind of grippy jab fitting, like a shark bite kind of thing, but very small, because it's only a 1/4 inch line or something like that.
Dean Stevens is 165,000 RPM. Yeah, probably could be. The small ones are probably way up there.
Holy moly!
Yeah, the small turbine engines I worked on, they were in the 46,000 RPM range, and those T wheels are about this big. You know, they're probably like this. They were going.
But Carfon says copper. I think the repair guy linked it moving the fridge. Yeah, some people, they take the spool and then they have like a thing that hangs it on the wall, so when you pull it out, you can. Refrigerator water lines, they are notorious. There it is, problem. I'm so sorry you had a problem like that today.
See, that's what all it says is a plastic or a brass ferrule. And that's what I was thinking. It was some kind of little ferrule, but you say no, they're not. There's something else.
You know what? I have seen where they have a nylon ferrule on them.
Yeah, that's what I remember. The plastic ones having some kind of plastic ferrule.
They sell a little jabby.
And then I've used
shark bite kind of thing.
I've used a brass ferrule on plastic, and every time I've done it, it's worked for a little bit, and then I've regretted it because it cut the plastic. So
And then there's something in there about leering.
Leering.
Maybe he's making fun of somebody's bad spelling. Kevin Sis says, sucks, it happened to us. Oh, man.
Oh, is up
Wayne's got the freezer full. 40 pounds of wings, 40 pounds of...
Oh, it's very kudos. What do they do?
That's a lot of work.
40 leering pounds. Leering centers, just leer.
gas turbine speeds in automotive engines was about 50,000. That does sound correct. That sounds like what you'd expect. I don't know.
Automotive engine, you mean like the Chrysler?
I don't know a lot about turbo. I just know I'm gonna have a turbo.
I know TF33 engine, which is kind of like on the old 707s and on the B-52s they're flying now. They're the fan is about like if I could stand there and pretty easily stretch across the fan. And those things turn 10,000 RPM. Holy crap! And then the bigger ones, those big high bypass engines, turn lower than that. And then the smaller ones are even faster. But I remember those TF33s that turn about 10,000, which for the diameter is, my God, that's just imagine the centrifugal force in there. And then they stay together. I remember when I was working on TF33s back in the 70s, they were good for 10,000 hours, and they bumped them up to 12,000 hours while I was still working in the shop in the 70s. So I don't know, probably more than that now. Now they're still using those engines. They're still using those engines on the B-52H models. That's crazy. And they're supposed to re-engine those airplanes.
Although I think he said that it got kinked. So Slimo says he's tuning in from Australia, fresh off the tractor. It's beer o'clock. Sounds good. Glad to have you.
What time's beer o'clock in Australia?
Whatever time you're done with that tractor.
Whatever time you're done with the tractor.
Can you imagine being out there in the heat? It's time to be done on the tractor. I think we're getting near to.
We've been there 2 hours and 25 minutes.
Yeah, I think so. I finished my manifold. If you were not here for it, I did do a little bit of welding, little hobby welding there, and I don't know, are we going to pressure test it? I don't think it matters. If a little bit exhaust, eventually the carbon will fill up the hole and it'll be fine.
Vespa bike engines were Fiat Bomber starting motors. Hey, what were the starter motors on the SR-71? Who knows this?
I know, because you've said it a bunch of times.
The starter motor on an SR-71?
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's see if anybody here knows it first.
I know. I'm just saying. I know because you told me. Told everybody.
I figure somebody will come up with something.
This is practically an open book question.
Somebody will get practically an open book.
It is. If
well, yeah, I know somebody.
Spec was here, he would know.
Somebody will go in there and look it up, and AI will tell them.
Craig May says beer clock's breakfast time on a good day.
Beer. I know a girl used to drink champagne at breakfast. Oh, 3:30 p.m. in Australia. Okay.
Burlock saying 4 Other Lives right now. Oh, Mexican Spec is in 4 Other Lives. Yeah, he's a hard-working mod. We don't need you, Mexican Spec. It's okay. But he says put new braided supply lines.
Yeah, but who knows what they were? Josh Holmes says 455 engines used to start. I don't think they were.
The Blackbirds?
No, they were. I'll tell you what they were, but they were not.
No.
I don't think they were 455s.
Oh, Buddy Carfono also says bought new hoses for washing machine. Yeah, make sure it's like rubber tires, right? Even if they seem in good shape, if they're 15 years old and if you bend them and you could see cracks in them, do you really want to leave your house with those lines on? So, maybe. Mexican Spec is adding RAM chargers to his page. Those should be popular. I hope you have good success with them.
Okay, nobody's saying what it is. I think they were the Nailhead Buicks. They were big Buick. They were big Buick V8s.
I was wrong. I thought you had said something different.
And
now that you mentioned.
And then later, they couldn't get parts. This is why I think it was the Nailhead Buicks, because parts started becoming a problem, engines started becoming a problem, and they started using big block Chevys. So I met a guy that did SR-71 electronics. We have a guy in here that's he might be here tonight. Inspector Bruce that's in here. He's SR-71 guy. He's an electronics guy. Okay, and Hippie Long got it right. And see, I thought it was the nail head because the and the reason I think it was the nail head Buick is because they started having the parts problems, and that's when they swapped to this big block Chevys. Craig makes this. The saying was, "I always has one at 11. Poster on the wall in the pubs." What you doing, Kim? Trying to run over all the stuff.
Run over everything. Just trying to clean things up.
Josh Holman, thanks. It's been a while since I read the Reader's Digest article. I learned that from. Ford Rule says he worked at Edwards Air Force Base. Oh, the guy you know. The guy you knew. Yeah, because when we were in the Air Force, all the SRs were at Beale Air Force Base up in
some people
Northern
came
California.
in. Some people came in, especially the Aussies, came in kind of late. They may have missed. We were working on. This is the Slant 6 turbo manifold. Very custom. Very custom. Where's that turbo snail housing kind of thing? So this is split. It's got a expansion joint. The turbo fits here in sort of a proud stance so that it can exhaust out this side. To me, no. Is it exhaust? No, the exhaust goes. It sits like this. Sits like this. So the exhaust can come to this side and not hit the steering and not hit the inner shock mount and not hit all of the garbage that's in the damn way.
The valves look like nails because the valve faces were kind of small. They weren't large diameter valves. And then they went in kind of a weird angle. The push rod went up like this. The rock arm came back like this, and the nail went straight down, or the valve went straight down like this. So the push rod and the valve crossed each other. And it was kind of it was a small diameter valve. Hippie Long says, the first time I went over to Edwards, I watched a B2 cell fly profile of Owens Valley. It was great. Again?
Well, yeah, I want to show. I got to show why it's the way it is. See, it's got a tuck right there.
It's got to miss the part of the intake.
It's got to miss the intake, and then it's got to aim the exhaust towards the firewall, towards the rear of the vehicle.
I've only seen a B2 fly once, and it was at the Cleveland Air Show, and they just did a flyby. They did a flyby and then climbed out.
Okay, put that sucker in.
And it was kind of quiet.
Heavy!
It's very quiet because the exhausts are up above. And it was, the nail head was like half a Hemi. Oh, because of the way the crisscross of the valve and the push rod. Kevin Smith says, nice work, Kim.
Thank you. Yes, it is. This is going to kick ass. Wait till Professor P sees
Ford Rule says, is it Bain Racing certified? Well, it's certified because I certified. No, I didn't certify.
We could certify it. We're going to have to put it on there and see if I warped it so bad that it won't fit. That's when the real certified. And you could tell in here, I'm going to have to take that.
Yeah, you have to clean that up a little bit.
You're going to have to clean off some edges. Some of that cutting. Oh, in the video you guys didn't see yet. Buffalo Campo cut this plate out with a grinder. That video is on the chopping block. It's going to come out tomorrow. As soon as he has not got it yet.
Well, I did a short on it, and so because some guy gave me a bunch of shit about it.
Oh, yeah?
Told me that I did it all wrong.
You did, of course. Always. But that video is very nearly ready for him, and then he needs to make a thumbnail, and then it will be out to all of you. So you can expect to see that. But you are here live while I did the final welding to have this stupid thing. Oh, look how crooked it looks. It's actually like it's supposed to have a little bit of a spool. Like I measured. I measured it. It's not straight. It's not supposed to be straight. It's exactly the shape and size it's supposed to be.
Oh.
You know? But it looks like garbage.
Poor Rosa's.
Not garbage.
Bane is the man in Australia, anything racing. Is that the guy you know about the slants?
No.
Or is that somebody else? Yeah, because there's somebody.
No.
There's somebody in Australia that's a big slant six
There
guy.
are a bunch of people. The slant sixes were popular. All the 6-cylinders were popular in Australia.
I just saw a car for sale up here somewhere that has it was a Ute somewhere.
Yeah, but it was from like 2013 or 2015.
Oh, it was? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was like an auction that was already over.
Oh,
but
yeah,
it was an
auction.
Australian Ute in the United States.
It was an Australian Ute with a 265 in it.
Yeah.
What says that? The short answer is because the engine design looked like they nailed the valve covers down. Oh, I thought it was because the valves were so long, had such small diameter. The valves were so small diameter that it looked like a nail. But that, I don't know. I've heard all kinds of different things. I got work to do tomorrow. I got to bring my car up here because I have a taillight issue before we go driving it somewhere. I have one turn signal bulb that doesn't light up, and I want to. I mean, it's legal the way it is, but it just looks like shit, you know. I'll fix it. Very good. An air show here at Easter was going to have 2 or 3 USF Raptors fly over and a B-52 as well, but they canceled. Yeah, I remember you saying they were going to do that, and then they didn't do it. Yeah, they probably got them all in Middle East or something. Who knows? But what do they have for fighters there in military airplanes that are yours? Craig May, I watched a Vulcan bomber do a touchdown on a runway too short to land on. Huge black plume of smoke as it lifted back off in the 70s. Oh, okay. I've never seen one of those. I've only seen them on video because we don't have them, you know. I was around C5s and C141s mostly, and KC-135s some, although I never worked on a KC. C-130 very little. Worked on all those big airplanes, and always wanted something smaller. And then years later, they put me on a thing called an Aerosonde, which had a fuselage about this long. Like, not that small. I was wanting some kind of a fast little jet fighter, you know.
Burlock says,
something just smashed in
Bane Racing.
What the hell was this?
That's a big bug.
Big bug that just smashed into me. He's got guidance problems.
He's got guidance problems. He says, Bane, theory and practice, makes his own sheet metal manifolds. His son, too. He made his son as well. Good for him. Congratulations. No, that's awesome. I should look him up.
That thing's crashed like 4 times.
Oh, he's on kamikaze now.
He's just smashing into stuff. That's really messed up.
You know why?
Some big fat bug, and he's just like crashing into everything.
I ran so far away. Yeah. That's a big mess.
Oh, Dean Stevens said, used to have Skyhawks. Oh, yeah. You're talking about like the A4? That's you talk to Navy pilots, and they think that's the best flying airplane there is. And you talk to Air Force pilots, and they like the T-38 or the F-5 the best. And that's always a kind of a which one's better.
Which one is better?
I talked to one guy that had been flying both of them. He's a test pilot, been flying A4s, Skyhawks, and he'd been flying T-38s and F-5s, and he liked the He liked the yeah, the A4 is better. Tilly Brothers on Sydney northern beaches are good with Valiant. Vulcan bombers were Britain's peak Cold War. They have only ever seen action in Argentina. Yep. Yeah, can you believe that? I couldn't believe they flew those things. That was a long, long mission for them, and they pulled it off. Looks like a mucklehead bug.
That's probably what it is.
A mucklehead bug. I don't know what that is.
No, you get them a lot.
It's one that's its GPS isn't working.
I've got the door open because the welding kind of smells like I might have hit some.
Oh, you opened the. That's why it's getting cold.
Yeah.
I look over. You said door open. I look over. The door's wide.
I was feeling sick, and if I got some sizzle, like I hit some of that galvanizing, and I was just like, oh, open the door.
You got galvanized metal there?
This piece here is galvanized, but I really wasn't welding on that. I was welding over here.
But you may have got it.
But I was doing some cleanup tack, so I might have just put a tack on the spot that was galvanized. So probably won't die, but it's
okay. Tavo says, want to laugh? Google Britain nukes the USA. Okay, I'll have to go check that out to laugh. You know, something they used to be able to do, and it's gone, but it used to be there. You could get directions on Google Maps from the United States to somewhere in England, and it told you to drive over to somewhere on the East Coast and to go out on some pier and jump in the water and swim to England. It told you where to climb out of the water and then to drive to wherever it was. And it actually had those instructions on Google Maps.
Because they thought it was fun.
And that's gone.
Some idiot probably jumped in the ocean and drowned.
Oh, yeah, and then they got sued.
Yeah, so they were like, well, I guess we have to take it down.
Oh, man. Yeah, somebody told me that was there, and I went and looked, and it was there.
Buddy Carfana says, what type of tubing are you going to use to connect the turbo to the carburetor? So it came as a kit. So we have a bunch of
it's like a kit
metal tubing.
Not any specific car. It's just a whole bunch of pieces.
It's like a generic kit. And there's an intercooler as well. But I don't think we're going to. And then we don't have the carb hat finished yet. We played with that like a year and a half ago.
I might just buy one
so after all this. Circle back around to that part of it.
Dryer hose.
Maybe. Don't tempt me, I'll do it. Don't tempt me, I'll do it.
Oh,
if it forces 5 psi into that carburetor and makes that slant 6 run the best time it's ever run.
5 psi is the most we'll ever put.
I mean, if it runs good at 5, once we have it running good at 3 or 5.
Yeah, I don't want to run.
Well, we'll go. If we blow it up, we'll put a different engine in.
Mucklehead bugs are prevalent in coastal Cleveland, Ohio. Oh, I remember those things. That's probably what those are.
I'm from up in Pittsburgh. That is like the biggest beetle type, but it's just a beetle. It looks like a common beetle. It's just big. It's so early for a bug that big, too. Usually it's late summer you get the giant bugs. That one survived the winter.
Mark crashed a Strike Master. I'm not sure what that is. RAF and USA did some exercises. Britain got nukes on U.S. soil. USA have lost all their bombers. All simulations, of course, but real aircraft used.
Oh, really? Wow.
Dick Goddard coined the Mucklehead
bug name. Interesting.
Johnny Appleseed in reverse. Johnny Appleseed, that's somebody from Ohio. Went all across. You know about Johnny Appleseed. Well, John, the guy that I worked for, he had property with apple trees all over it. And he goes, that was some of those apple trees.
You know the problem with that?
Maybe they're full of shit.
If you plant apples from seed, you get crab apples. all of the good apple orchards.
What are they?
What was it? Was it your sister or?
My sister did avocados. Yeah, avocados. Avocados grow plants that don't grow good avocados, but the ones that grow good avocados are not good plants. So what they do is they graft the good avocados onto good rootstock. And she had Central Coast of California. She had the highest success rate, and all the farmers wanted her to come out and do all their grafting. So when she was in college, she was busy, and that's why she drove a no, a Scout.
Scout. Oh.
An international Scout, and she was a farmer girl. You know, she went out and did that stuff, and she did really well with that. But then she moved to they moved to Montana. Of course, there's no avocados up there. And then they moved to northern California, way up almost Oregon. And she grew trees. She grew little starter trees, thousands of little starter trees, and sold them to all the nurseries that sold trees. So that's how they kept themselves going. And they built a house. It took them their whole life to build a house. Their kids were born and grew up in a house they were building, and the kids graduated from high school and they sold the house, and she goes, "We never made so much money." It's the day they sold the house. She goes, "We worked all those years so hard, and all we need to do is build a couple of houses." Jeff Carter was a weatherman in Cleveland. Oh yeah.
Oh,
I remember. I remember that now. Yeah.
All says climate. Says I try to help those bugs that bat me in the head. At least I can. I mean, you didn't see us trying to kill it. It's just a harmless bug. It doesn't bother us too much. It was hit him. It hit me. It was chaotic.
Very CUDA. We had 250 cubic inch crossflow 6s in Falcons here. Did America get those? No. I've seen pictures of them, and that's all. And I've heard about them, and
that's what people say is get the Aussie cylinder head and put it on your engine, and then you'll have that. Like, oh yeah, can't you just?
Because mine has a 200 cubic inch, which is the lower deck height 250, but it's not a crossflow. No. It's just a slow engine. Terrible head. You can't even port it and make it worth the darn.
I need a car with a slow engine.
Says here, Dean says, nope, development of the 250 stopped in 1980. Still a log hit. Yep. No, mine's a log hit. Dean was around when we did mine, and he was the one that talked me into putting the original head gasket back on it. And I didn't really want to do it, but I finally listened to him. I cleaned that shim gasket all up and coated it with a copper coat and put it on there. And I'm pretty happy I did that. It works really well.
Did the American manufacturers ever make a cross-flow inline 6 with push rods? Or did it only happen in overhead cam engines? I don't think they ever did it.
Wasn't the Pontiac Iron Duke? How was the Iron Duke? I'm trying to remember.
Probably both on the same side.
I'm trying to remember what the deal is with Iron Duke.
Who knows? I'll bet you it's both on the same side.
Dean will come up with the answer.
Push rod engines, they just put them all on the same side so that the cam could be, line them up. Line them up. If you wanted something better, you bought a higher class of engine. The 6-cylinder was cheap and simple.
200 shallow deck log head XR Falcon engines from 66 continued American box LTD until 83. Yeah, the 200 started off as a 144 cubic inch, 4 main bearings, and went to 170, and then 200, and then 250, and the 250 was a higher deck height. I remember driving a 1960 Falcon around with a 144 in it. It wasn't fast at all. I mean, it was just, it would get around just fine. But I liked that engine because it was so simple, you know. That's why a 302 is cheaper here than your 250.
Yeah. Yeah, just put a V8 in it if you really want the extra performance. And I mean, I like building cool stuff. So, like, it appeals to me, but it's like at the same time, it's like from a practical standpoint, it's like, why do I want to build this rare and expensive motor when I could just...
So you've been following the Artemis mission. This is one I Cat wants to know.
Is anybody not?
I kind of some, but probably not like I did the Apollo missions.
Splashdown tomorrow.
They currently
It's awesome.
103,375 miles out. Speed of 3,776 and gaining. They would be gaining Splashdown tomorrow. Yeah, that'll be pretty cool. They got a little more room in there to, and man, I did watch one of their live feeds, and I remember the Apollo missions very well with kind of at the time really good black and white video coming back, and I mean really good that we even had it. I was surprised. I remember back then I couldn't believe they were sending video back, but it was pretty shitty compared to today. Today the video looks as good as what we have here on YouTube, and it was, you know, they just come out from the other side of the moon, and they were just great video. And I'd kind of forgotten about the lag. You know, what is it, about 2.5 or 3 seconds each way? So, you know, there's that delay, but it's pretty interesting stuff, you know. It's the early AMC alloy engine, Kaiser Nash with crossflow.
Neat. Okay. Craig May banged his back, the 3 full noise, it revved its head off and went nowhere. So yeah, they were tough.
Kevin Smith.
He's talking about the crossflow.
Kevin Smith is one of these guys that says weird shit. Astronauts eat launch meat. You eat launch meat.
No.
We'll have to remember that. Kim likes launch meat. One Cat says had a live feed for the last 8 days. Yeah, I watched it one where they I don't know. I watched about 5 minutes, 10 minutes of it, something like that. So I don't know how long they were, if they just stayed on or if they were, but it was a conversation they had, so I watched it. And Tavo, is the crossflow motor an entirely different engine to the earlier Falcon 6? And when they talk about Falcons Down Under, it's a whole series of cars that went on to be some really cool cars. And ours, the Falcon, kind of stopped in 1969, early 1970, kind of a frumpy little car. We never had the really good Falcons. Granted, it's surprising no one has developed artificial gravity device to put on spacecraft to minimize mass loss. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's some big thing that turns, but I mean that's an enormous.
That's not really a device. That's more like
enormous.
That's like a
thing.
Strategy. I don't know. If they could make a gravity device, then you would think they could also make an anti-gravity device.
Well, right. Oops, just the Tornado Kaiser engine. It was. Oh, you remember that engine? Okay, that just woke me up. I remember a friend of mine had one of those, and it was a 6-cylinder, and the cam, it was an overhead cam, and it had 6 lobes on the cam, and because it was a Hemi and it was crossflow, the same lobe, it seems, he ran the intake and the exhaust. So that was a goofy looking thing. Carl had one. He pulled that engine out and he put a 440 Chrysler in his. He had a big, like a 1.25 ton military truck. Took that Tornado engine out and put his 440 Chrysler in it. Tavo says it's still same base engine as was the E series OHC overhead cam. Shared a lot of its. What's the OHC overhead cam? Shared a lot of its engineering with the original 144. Man, I remember that 144 well. I would love to have a 60 Falcon of the 144. I think that's just such a nice, simple little car. I like simplicity. Question, do all Muncie transmissions whine? I do not think so, because there was the Rock Crusher. What was the Rock Crusher? one they called the Rock Crusher. There's the M21, M22, M20. Which one was which? The one that was the Rock Crusher was the one that whined, I think. Dean Stevens says the early 6-cylinder checker engine was a crossflow too. Wasn't that a early checkers? Didn't they have a Continental engine? Oh, and that's what Chrysler had, was Continental engines. That would make sense. Yeah, because then the checker went to Chevrolet 6-cylinders and Chevrolet small blocks like 283s. Last I heard, they want to do 3 more correction burns to hit splashdown as of hours ago. Okay. Oh, it says the M22 was the Rock Crusher.
That sounds right.
Okay, so that's the one that was the noisy one. You met Steve, my friend that came out here from California at Christmas a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
He had a Rock Crusher and a...
He had a Rock Crusher?
He had a Rock Crusher.
How much rock would a Rock Crusher crush if a Rock Crusher could crush rock?
Later replaced it with a Turbo 400. Oh. It was in a 70 El Camino, a bright red 70 El Camino with some massive big block Chevy in it.
Buddy Carfon asks, are you still doing a Saturday night live? That's a good question. Are we still doing the Saturday night live?
I think so. Why shouldn't we? I think
we're either going to be here or we're going to be
there.
No.
Either
way,
right.
We're going to be
live.
live.
That's why he's asking.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we'll probably be on our way back. Because we're not going to be out that late.
Why not? You think they'll go to bed early?
I don't want to be out driving much that late.
Past 9 p.m. Oh, my. Guys, if we aren't live, they will be.
Okay. Ford Rules asks, is it because the gears are straight cut, whining? I don't think they were, but somebody might look up to see why. It might have been the size of the teeth. I don't know. I really don't know. The last automotive transmission I saw with straight cut gears was a Crosley, little tiny Crosley transmission, and everything in the Crosley was straight cut. So I really don't know. I never went into that transmission. I had friends that had Chevrolets. They all had M21s, M22s, M20. I think that's what they all were. But anyway, yeah. But I never went into any of them.
Steve Edwards, welcome in. He says he sold a radio to a guy in France.
Wow.
I wonder how much that cost to ship. Dean says the 16-valve Triumph, Dolomite, Sprint, and about 52 TR7 competition engines had a similar system, with the intake valve lobe supplied with exhaust running off the same lobe.
Oh yeah, the checker engine was the old Continental. The Kaiser Tornado was it's completely different. Completely different thing.
Different.
It could be about the same. Man, the sirens.
There's nothing wrong that it's not drugs, it's medication.
What's that?
That is prescribed by my doctor for a real condition of need and used in accordance with the
I don't think I'm subbed to Dallas. I don't think I'm subbed to Dallas unless I am, and he doesn't post anything. He has 2 channels. He has the AHRA, and he has
Mr. Rotter's Neighborhood.
Mr. Rotter's Neighborhood. But generally, they do their Wednesday night show on
Slant Daily
Garage.
Is that what they've been doing?
Yes.
So you guys, I don't know. We will try and remember to put up a community post. I am telling him and telling me.
Did that thing just hit you?
It landed on me.
It did.
Is it that big bug?
Yeah.
Oh,
I just flicked him away.
All right, good. Don't hurt him.
Don't hurt him. He's hurting himself. Astronauts will Daniel Morse. He said astronauts will re-enter atmosphere at 24,000 miles an hour, 32 times the speed of sound. Yeah,
holy shit.
Man, I remember the shuttle one time. They were coming in over California, and we couldn't see them, but we could hear them. We hear them, boom, going. And there was a woman pilot, and I remember hearing her voice, and she was calling out speeds and altitudes. She called out 200,000 200,000 feet, because they went from space kind of stuff, what they're calling feet per second and stuff, to Mach numbers. So I knew they were in the atmosphere. And I think she said, maybe it's 400,000 feet. Mach 12, 400,000 feet, I think is what she said. And then it was not too long after that. They're coming down pretty good. Ba-boom, going over, and they landed at Edwards Air Force Base. But I remember that. That's scooting along, and they're going to be going faster than that. You know, they brought the first, what was it, Artemis 1, I guess is what they called it. The first one of those they brought in with nobody in it several years ago, and they got in a real big elliptical orbit so they could bring it in at real high speed, and it was very similar to that. Holy shit, things going to get hot. I had to mute to see if the sirens
You
were
were
here.
there, yeah.
Oh man, so you could hear them. Mexican Specs say I'm sub to Shane's channel. Hippie Long says, I bought a mini starter for my Dart. Oh yeah, those are nicer, aren't they?
Yeah.
Do you have one of those?
I don't know which cars have which anymore. I think they're all the standard.
I thought there was one around here. I remember seeing one. I don't know if it was one you had or one the car
I remember when we got this running again, we had to change up the starter. There was something wrong. So one of the starters was faulty. I know that, I don't know. The trucks have mini starters on them for sure, so maybe we can pull one off one of the trucks.
Steve Edwards, it costs $48 to ship it.
I know, that seems cheap.
From here to there, France, eBay International Shipping.
That's pretty amazing. Yeah, because Mexican Spec says it costs $80 to send a hoodie to Mexico. So that's cheap.
You should have sold it to you on eBay.
Yeah, he should have sold the hoodie to you on eBay. Man.
Hey, we're down there. You know what we got to do? Oh, all's taking off. We're probably going to be taking off pretty soon, too. Daniel Morrissey, 10G forces for the 10 Gs? You got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. That's insane. 10 Gs is not fun. Man, I've done over 6, and that's not fun. That's when I was younger, I could do 6, but it's still, you go much more than that, you start tunnel visioning or taking a nap. I know there's Air Force pilots who do 9, but man, it's real easy to take a nap.
Mexican Spec, he doesn't do shorts regular anymore. He just when he gets one, he pops it up, but it's random.
Okay, so Mexican. Oh, you just answered that. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I've been doing some random ones. I don't do as many. We've been trying to do more long form videos, and we have been doing more long form videos. So, well, what am I going to eat tonight? Man, we went to the grocery store again, bought all. See, you can't buy a lot of fresh vegetables because then they go bad. So you've got to buy them in segments. So we bought more fresh vegetables today. And I know Mexican Spec doesn't think that vegetables are food, but they are. And so can you message me where the live will be Saturday night?
All right, Mexican Spec. I'll try and remind him to do it. We might not know until Saturday. I will demand that he puts up a community post. So if you check out our channel, there'll be one of those posts or whatever they're in community section that with information about what we're planning to do.
What he said was if you were going to come over, there were a couple of phone numbers where you could get the address. Because he said, I'm not going to give the address to everybody. So you're asking where it'll be.
He's asking what stream is it going to be on.
Oh, that kind of where.
What, you think Mexican Spec's going to fly up to Dallas's house
to
hang out with us while we stream?
Mexican Spec says freeze the vegetables. That'll ruin the vegetables. You can't freeze tomatoes and lettuce.
No, they don't freeze well.
They freeze fine. They don't unfreeze well.
Well, you can freeze with them, but if you freeze them, you have to cook with them. You can't eat them in a salad or whatever.
Okay, I'll try to. Well, I'll be there. And I'll have my phone with me. I can call you.
Yeah.
I'll call you.
We'll know.
I'll let you know.
Unfortunately, we won't really know, but we'll be live. They said they're going to go live during the day while they're working.
Well, and we'll be there.
Yeah.
Well,
with 4 of us there, we're not all going to be working.
And they're
somebody's going to be.
Actually, they're going to start tomorrow, which is later today. So, but we're not going to be there till Saturday.
We'll figure it out.
What channel will the host the live? Yeah, I'm thinking it'll probably be. Yeah, I'll find out.
We'll figure it out. But we're heading out now.
Intense heat will create radio blackout time. Yep.
Plasma sheet for several minutes. 5,000 degree shell. That's crazy.
The first time that happened was with Gemini. No, it was with Mercury. It was Friendship 7, whatever that was. That was John Glenn. It was the first time they came in orbit and they had the blackout. They thought they had a loose heat shield. I remember this so well. They thought they had a loose heat shield, and then they lost contact with him. And there was a lot of people thought he burned up in the atmosphere, but then he came back. And what it was is the first time they had the blackout, they didn't know about the blackout. So then after that, after John Glenn's flight, they knew that they had that blackout. Well, this is going to be a significant one. Yeah, because this is going to be hot.
Why don't they slow down? What's the hurry?
Because if you come in too fast, you glance off. It's like skipping rocks across
the atmosphere.
Yeah, you'll skip off and you'll go off somewhere where you don't want to be.
Right.
And you won't come back. And if you hit too hard, you'll pull like crazy G's and it'll kill you. So you can't come in too steep.
Okay,
and you
so
can't.
It's like hitting a tree it's like doing a belly flop in a swimming pool if you don't.
Right. So they got to hit it just right. And
it's like when you're on an airplane and you touch down and the wheels start stopping the airplane and you're like, ooh.
But they're not coming in from orbit at 17,000 miles an hour. They're coming in from the moon at 24,000 miles an hour. Mm-hmm. They're scooting right along. So yeah, I thought it was 25,000, but it may be 24,000. Okay, tomatoes turn to mush when frozen.
Right, you can't freeze and unfreeze tomatoes or else you have sauce. They're not tomatoes anymore. Because gravity. That's right. Guys, it's been a pleasure talking with you. Our 3 hours are done. I had a long day. It's getting chilly. I feel sick because I made a stink with the weld. You've made it to the end. I'm awarding you 3 additional points because you're all fantastic audience. I count you all as friends. You have entertained the Buff Del Campo for 3 whole hours to the point where he didn't even touch his project that he's been talking about all day.
Well, I touched it yesterday for quite a while.
And we have great plans for the weekend that we have to immediately prepare for tomorrow.
I do have to work on my car.
Looking forward to it. We'll talk to you all Saturday, hopefully, if you can stop in and say hello, and we'll see you then.
Oh.